Alright, hello everyone. Grab a little bit of food and we'll start shortly. How's the music to my voice right now?
Give me all your numbers so I can phone ya. Your girl acting stank, then call me over. Not on the bed, lay me on your sofa. Call before you come, I need to shave my cha-cha. You do or you don't, or you will or won't cha. Go downtown and eat it like a vulture.
Can y'all hear me? Is this working? Music's loud? Okay. There we go. I don't know how bad the delay is for my voice to the thing because I have it set up this way for quality. Sweet. Okie dokie. Alright, so I'm gonna let people trickle in a little bit more before we get started, but for those of you who don't know what we're going to be making today, if you didn't see my tweet and you're just coming in from one of the links I posted elsewhere, we are going to be making a cute-ass wizard lizard. He's one of my favorite designs that I've seen pop up recently that people have asked me to make. We're going to be making this guy. He has some pretty cool concept art out there, and I think he's adorable, so I'm going to give this one a go. And we're going to show you how to do him from scratch up to the final completed model. I will not be rigging this. However, if you guys do know ZXE, he's a fantastic rigger that we're going to be passing this off to him. And he's going to give him the animations and the movement that is going to be... that's going to bring him to life. But I'm going to show you the basics of bringing him from the ground up, literally starting with a sphere or a cube, depending on how I feel, and how to make him adorable. So, in the meantime, I'm going to eat a granola bar as I think about how I want to approach this. Alright, Ducky Duck. Thanks for tuning in for a little bit you can. Hope to see you later. Okie dokie. So I'm going to pop these references over the side. Now, normally, for when I'm starting a scene in... Now, I'm going to be working in Maya today. For those of you who are not too versed in 3D software, Maya is a fantastic modeling program that I personally prefer over Blender. It's what I was taught in. However, everything I'm showing you can be done in Blender. You just have to figure out how to translate it. Oh shit, it's Mark. What's up, Mark? And it's Adam. And Mark and Adam. How you doing, man? So, let's get started. My scene is going to look... You can see the relationships and how similar things are in Blender. But unfortunately, I don't know Blender that well to give you exact translations. But we all start off with a plane. You need a 3D space. So normally how I would start out is I have things called turnarounds that I like to use for reference. Now, I don't know. Let's go... let's grab a character I love. Holo. Spice and a wolf. Model sheet. They're called model sheets or turnarounds, and these will basically give you some good key images, some profiles of what the character looks like, so you can get good side images and what they would look like from the front side, and good facial fronts, so you can start modeling that. Unfortunately, I don't have this for this little guy, so what you can do is you can either make them yourself by drawing them, but for this case, I think this character is simple enough that I'm just going to jump in there and I'm going to start doing it from scratch myself. But I will show you how to set up these images if you want. The first thing you should do is we're going to set up view planes. So there are multiple viewports in Maya. These three are going to be the orthographics for the top, the front, and the side. So I want these images to be appearing on the front and side just so I can have some references to choose from and look at. So I'm going to go to View, Image Plane, and Import Image. Now I'm going to have this screen pop up on the other side, and I'm going to... Actually, I need to drag these cute little boys onto the desktop so I can easily grab them. Give me just a moment. You're on the desktop, and you're on the desktop. Alright. So I'm going to scroll through my images, and I'm going to find this little wizard lizard. I'm going to import him. And he creates a little orthographic plane that is perfectly lined up on the front axis. And you can see on the side here, it's perfectly flat. You can't even see it if I deselect it. And then we're going to do the same thing for the side one. This is normally where you put the ones where the character's completely looking at you from the side. I'm going to go image import, and we're going to go find the next image. And good. This way I can just easily have my references in the scene. You can see if I blow this back up that they kind of just intersect each other. And that's not necessarily what I want, especially when I was doing orthographics. So you have to drag select these because otherwise you're not going to be able to select them because they're a special reference material. And I'm just going to drag them to the top so they're pretty even. And I'm just going to push these bad boys back. Like, I don't need them in the center. We're going to be working from the center because you always want to have your model start out in the center. So let's get started. I got to minimize that. Oh. The world isn't ready for Protobug. I believe in you, Zarb. You got this. Okay, so let's look at his design very up close and personal. So he's got a very slender body, a big head, and very dainty arms. So we're gonna need a base that could support this head. I did. Shit. Alright, I'm gonna fix that right now. You didn't see anything bouncy. Fixed. Alright. So we're gonna need a body that supports this. Now, principles of design, what we're gonna use the shape that's known as the bean. You can see the bean in one of the most famous animated characters in the goddamn world. Everyone knows him. It's Mickey Mouse. His body is the shape of a bean, where it has a good heavy base and tapers off to the top to have this circle. This is a very appealing design, and you will see it a lot in a lot of designs, whether it's Western or Eastern in terms of design. You can very clearly see it in this image. So we're going to be using something very similar here. So I think a good thing to start off with this guy is probably a sphere. So I'm going to go to, let's go to Create, Polygon Primitives, and I'm going to create a sphere. It's going to create a little default guy in the center here. I'm going to go to the front view. Oops, I pushed the image in the wrong direction, it seems. So I'm going to push this so it's, there we go. Okay, I'm going to blow this scene up so I can see it clearly. I'm going to switch to a see-through mode, which is this button up here for Maya users, which will make my geometry translucent so I can easily shape this. So this is not a perfect front or side, so I'm just going to do my best to estimate. I'm going to scale things in. I'm going to get a nice base just to basically make his hips. Roughly get the thing. And we're going to want his base to go up to here. So I'm going to, oh, you can see now that may look good from this angle, but from the side it looks like garbage. So we're going to compensate, make sure it's a nice base sphere, maybe a little tapered out in the sides. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's pretty decent. I'm going to grab soft selections. A soft selection is where you take a vert, or an edge, a face, anything you want really, and it's going to pull all adjacent verts based on how sensitive the sensitivity is. And I do this by hitting B on my keyboard. It'll switch it to the soft selection mode, and if you hold B and then click and drag, you'll see this circle pop up, which is going to affect the radius. Now I'm going to affect it so it's basically down to the halfway point, so it can easily pull and whatnot. So I'm going to drop this down to this view. I'm going to go to my translate tool, and I'm going to lift him up. Not sensitive enough, it looks like. I'm going to increase the sensitivity a little bit more, maybe to the 3/4 point. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now we got a nice egg shape. Egg would be very happy if he was here. But what we're going to do now is, it's a little too fat for him, I would say, so I'm just going to push these in a bit. Slender him out. There we go, that's not bad. Yeah, this is Maya Arcane Cyanide. Very, very similar to Blender. Same things are all taught. You just have to figure out the translations. Oop. Oh, I got a not a poi. Wow, I'm not Ash. I got a Nichicho thing already. What did I get? Okay, this time for sure. Empiage. Name's Empiage. Hey Morra, I'm here, of course, but I still can't log in. Oh well. Anyway, how are you? Did you have a good day and such? Excited about the stream? I'll be catching up every now and then. Expect to see me again. P.S. You spelled donate wrong. God damn it. Yes. Hi. I'm doing pretty good. Truthfully, I'm a little hungover from last night, if you saw me in VR chat, but that's okay. I can still do models just as fine. I'm really happy you're here, man. I don't know what's going on with your YouTube account. You should figure that out. But welcome to the stream, man. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is, this is a good body shape. Now, I'm going to be modeling him from just the pure front here, which should be, which one's what? There we go. So that's the y-axis, x-axis, and z-axis. Generally, most models are going to keep the z-axis jutting out towards you and the x-axis to the right. This will import correctly into Unity this way, so I'm going to be modeling this guy from the front like this. And try my best to remember that. So let's make his neck. His neck is a little more slender, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the faces at the top. I'm going to turn off soft selection, because I don't need that anymore. So a quick draw, and you can see I'll just grab all the circles. And I'm going to use an ability called Extrude. Now, extrusion is probably your best friend in all of Maya. Actually, Maya, while it is expensive, if you are just learning, anyone can download it for free. It's really cool. So if you just want to just try it out, you can't make anything ever professional with it. However, if you're just looking to make things in VR chat, you can do that. You just gotta download it for a student trial. I am not rich as fuck. I have gotten all these things through means I can't discuss. So I'm going to hit the extrude button up here, which is this button on Maya, or I can go to mesh, edit mesh, find the face section and say, not extract, where's extrude? Okay, it's just under components now. They change Maya every year. Sometimes things could shake up. I'm sorry if I make mistakes. I used to work in 2016. I just switched to 2017. So I'm going to hit extrude here. That may not look like it's done much, but what it does, if you switch to your translate tool, it's just made these faces so you can pull them out, and you can edit them any way you want. You can expand them, shrink them, what have you. So I'm going to go back into this view, and he's got a pretty tapered neck. It's pretty triangular. So I'm going to size that up pretty decently, and I'm gonna go about to where I think the neck would end. Let's see, what should I do next? Okay, the transition from this base isn't too great yet, so I'm gonna soft select this. I'm gonna select that, turn on soft selection, shrink down my radius so it's just a little bit. I'm gonna go to my scale tool, and I'm going to just try to taper that out a little cleaner for right now. Another DT troll. What do we got here? $30 from Gene Ride. Jesus Christ! Just got my new Cintiq and Maya. Hell yeah, man! I'm working on a Cintiq. That is fantastic, man. Welcome to the big leagues. You're gonna feel like a god now. I'm glad you got it, man. This is gonna be really fun. Later, when I do modeling series, I'm gonna show you how to do some ZBrush work, which the Cintiq is fantastic for. And if people really care about it, I could do digital painting stuff, but that doesn't really pertain to VR chat at all. So we'll see. Bouncy. Hey, what's up, Michael Yak? How you doing? Don't dismiss me, PB! Oh, Aurora, I swear to God. Alright, so I'm gonna go to Mesh Tools, insert Edge Loop. Now, what this does is, an Edge Loop... I'm actually gonna get off that tool for a second so I can explain things a little bit better. An Edge Loop is whenever edges perfectly loop around together. This doesn't have to be a perfect circle like it is in this case, but if I click once and then I hold Shift and I double-click the edges on the side, it'll select the entire loop. So you can do whatever you want there. Now, insert edge loops will say, like, hey, you have a bunch of faces, and I can insert another line here. Very simple. So if I do that, you can see it just creates another loop to go around. We're going to need that to taper this off a little better. You can also hold Shift and click it, and it'll expand it in a direction that it thinks you want. In this case, it was incorrect, so I'm just going to do it manually. And try to keep this as square as possible, at least a little bit, to keep things flowing better. So now I'm going to select the edge loop here. Another, oh my god, guys, so early. 713 by Shevpenko. Thought I would donate for the first time ever. Oh wow, thank you. Thanks for my evening better after work. Congratulations. I'm glad I can do that for you guys. Thank you. 713. How much do I talk on Discord? Pretty frequently. It's this song again. No. Denied. I talk pretty frequently on Discord, honestly. You'll mostly catch me at a lot of the YouTubers' channels or just the VRPD. The VRPD is where I'm the most active, honestly. Ash's Discord, I would say, second. But yeah. Laura wants some ass, you know what I mean more. Do I, Bradley? Is it easier to model with a tablet? No. This entire thing I am doing right now is with a keyboard and mouse. But you can do it with a tablet. I've seen people who do it. I wouldn't recommend it. I do use ZBrush work with a tablet, because that's a must. You can't do that with a mouse. So I'm gonna try to taper this out a little bit better. And let's see here. So it's a little more smooth of a transition. That's okay. But you can see now that these edges are hard, and you're like, that's not what I want. I want it to be smooth like the rest. So that's not a big deal. Whenever you extrude a new face, it's going to assume all the faces are hard edged, which is good for using like mechs or anything that's like not organic. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly grab the face tool. I'm just going to grab all the faces that are affected, and even some that aren't, because it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go to Mesh Display, I'm going to go to Soften Edge. It's going to take every edge, and it's going to use a program to just smooth it out and make that look better. It gives the things to be an illusion of higher poly than it actually is. So let's switch back to our view here, where it's still partially invisible. I'm happy to hear that, Bouncy, thank you. Yeah, hit me up, Patrick. So now we're going to make the head. The head's going to be a little bit interesting because it's got a lot of complex shapes. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm probably going to model the head separate for right now. I'm going to delete these top faces so we keep these exposed. So how many edges do we got here? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, this is probably a little high poly for what this guy needs to be, but that's okay. I can edit edge loops as we see fit later. So I need a 20 thing right now before we do that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take this object, just to ensure I have the same sizing and capacity. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to just move it to the side here real quick. I'm going to select this face and then do an edge loop selection. And I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to just double click on one polys to select everything that's in that group. And I'm going to delete it. So we have this exact copy of what this was. And I'm going to try to get that as centered as possible. And I'm going to lift it up. You can see it's a little bit off, but we're going to use this as the start of our head. The head is very spherical. So let's see. How do I want to do this? Actually, this is a mistake. There's an easier way to do this. Come on, delete for me. There you go. I'm going to create a new sphere by going to Create, Polygon Primitives, Sphere, and I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to go to my attribute editor. Now, this is where you can edit this object in its entirety. And when in Maya, it defaults names things P sphere for polysphere. This was our first polysphere. This is going to be polysphere 1, and this one's going to be polysphere 2 because it's the second sphere we've ever created. Here we can adjust how it's translated, its size, its rotation, and whatnot, but that's not exactly what we're looking for right here. I'm seeing where I can edit the subdivisions, which is the edge loops it has. So it has 20 right now, which is perfect. That's the default sphere. I'm glad you like lampshade, guys, Shapenko. Alright, so we're going to keep this part here, because this is the part we're going to connect to the neck when we get there. But we're going to make the head out of this, so I'm going to shrink this down. It's a little more size appropriate. I'm going to go to this. This is actually a good side view, so I'm going to model this from the side. And I'm going to then twist it and make it sure it fits in the correct area. So I'm going to get this down. I'm going to size this appropriately. His head's a little... So you have to think about the skull here. We'll get into that when we start making the eye. But then I'm going to grab the vertex that's at the far corner here. I'm going to turn on soft selection, make that pretty big. I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to bring that down, which is pretty decent here. I'm going to grab this vert here with the same soft selection, just pull these around until I get about the general cute egg shape that this guy has for a head. I'm going to pull the back parts here a little bit, and let's pull the top to make the skull a little more prominent. Yeah, look at that. That looks just like his head. Alright, then you just stick that on, you send it out, and you got your model done. No. We're going to connect the sphere now to the head. I'm going to just select the faces here. Turn off soft selection by hitting B again. You don't want to do that. Click the edge loop by double-clicking the poly next to the one you selected. Delete by hitting the delete key. Do the same thing for this. We don't want that. and we are going to drag the head down so it's a little closer to the thing. Now you can see it's a little wobbly, but that's okay. We're going to use a process that's called it's a trap. We're going to use a process that's called God, I don't look at names. It's a target weld tool. So I'm going to click both of these by selecting one and then shift clicking the other one. I'm going to mesh combine these. Now what this does, this is saying like, hey, instead of being two separate objects, you are now one object. So whenever I select this, it's going to select both these objects as one object, not separate anymore. So now all I'm going to do is, the polys are actually pretty decently lined up right now. So I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, Target Weld. I'm going to right click to bring up the radio menu here. Probably should have mentioned that earlier so you guys don't get lost. But I'm going to go to Edge because we're going to sew the... Actually, you know what? Let's do Vertex. Vertex is probably going to be cleaner. So this thing's perfectly symmetrical. This one has 20 edges. This one has 20 edges. So we're going to grab this vert. I'm going to drag it to the vert I want to sew it to. And boom, it's going to attach itself there. I'm going to do the same thing with this vert. And we're just going to keep stitching it around. Attaching the most adjacent vert it can go to. So this has now become one perfectly sewn, closed off object. Perfect. Alright, now you can see his neck's a little wonky, but we'll fix that. Alright, Morra, has anyone asked you to be their waifu? Gustavo, I wish. People have said I'm waifu material, but no one has claimed me per se. I don't think yet. I forget. Morra, do you have a girlfriend in real life, my dude? I did not. I had a girl about a week ago, or not a week ago, a couple months ago. But she was a tramp, and we're not gonna get into that. Alright, so I'm just gonna go select the entire object and we're gonna hit soften edge. So it gradates that thing. Now that looks a little harsh. That has, like, you can see the polys there. That's not looking too good. So what I'm gonna do first and foremost, before I touch that, I'm gonna go edit the neck size so he doesn't have this huge circle jutting out of his neck. Let's see here. Alright, let's smooth this out to the best of my ability. We're probably going to need to add more edge loops in the neck here to make this look better. But I'm going to try my best with what I got right now. I'm going to bring this down so I can fully see. His head looks very heavy. How thick does his neck get? Let's see, let's look at our reference. Okay, his neck actually goes up to about 3/4 of his face. Dude, I'll be all your waifus. I'll be the biggest cheating waifu for all of you. Yeah, okay, so this actually, we actually want the neck to probably go to about this edge loop. So I'm going to select edge loop of this faces and this faces. I'm going to hit delete. And we're going to do the same thing. Now, I'm going to do this a little faster by doing it a better method, but I wanted to show you the long way so you guys can do it easy. Actually, let's see if this works. I'm going to turn on, by going to the toolbox, I'm going to turn symmetry on for Object X. Now, if I drag this, that does not work on this object. Okay, we're going to turn that off. Ignore what I said. So, let's... What the fuck is this Mortal Kombat ass shit? What's going on right now? Perfect. Not perfect. Where did I go wrong? Oh no! Alright, I'm gonna do it all. Alright, I guess I'm doing the long way. I tried to be quick about it, but I fucked up somewhere. This song sucks, man. Dude. Avon Cloud free music. You have such a wide variance. This sounds my jam, man. Soft, relaxing electro, small piano in the background. Someone playing the woodblock, the best instrument. There we go. Perfect. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call my my harem is the sandwich club. All right, I'm going to go to mesh tools again. We're gonna insert some edge loops so we can smooth this out better. There it is. And holding shift because this one will 100% smooth that out better. Overall, I think the neck may be too thin, thinner than I wanted it to be. Maya's lagging out a little bit right now. Now, unlike Blender, Maya has a very, very special thing you have to do. If you do not, your files are going to get too large and the files will corrupt. So here's what we have to do is you have to go to edit, delete all by type, and history. That's because Maya files save everything you've ever done when you worked on it. So what you have to make sure that's completely clean. And now you can go save as. I'm just gonna pop this over. I save it on my desktop under my VR chat characters. I've made a folder already called the Wizard Lizard. And I'm gonna do a new folder and just save my Maya files. Another thing about Maya, I cannot recommend this enough to increment save. So I'm gonna say wizard underscore 001. This is gonna be very, very helpful because if I just pop up a window over here, or not my internet window, this thing. I'm gonna go to my VR chat characters. I'm gonna bring that over here now. For instance, Hellscythe. There's the character you saw me thing. I actually had to delete some because this file was getting too large, but I went all the way up to 86 other files I was working with before then. Now, I just keep doing that. If you don't, you're going to regret it later when something explodes and you lose all your Maya work. But increment saving is an essential must for Maya. And now that I've deleted the history, it's not going to be as slow. Oh, another fair warning. This is going to go exact opposite of what I just said. If you are rigging, do not ever delete history. If you delete your history once you've started rigging, you will delete all your weight painting that you've done on your rig, and that's going to make you the saddest you've ever been. I've learned that the hard way. It sucks. So only do this during the modeling phases. Hey man, I tried to read my chat the best I can, but I have two monitors up, so I'm looking back and forth. So, let's see. I have to catch up, actually. Morra, have you watched Is This a Zombie? I'm on the second season. I haven't. I've heard the series is good. Now that I finished the model, I really want to do that. Shevpenko, stop shitting on my woodblock. That woodblock is fantastic, man. Your voice sounds very cool, Morra. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. Have I seen when Kirito drops sandwich? No, I have not, actually. Random comment. Thank you, Mythos. Alright, so let's do the next part. I'm going to select this big chain of faces that I have here. I'm going to turn off soft selection. Shrink that way down so it's only really influencing the neck. And I'm going to go to scale. I'm going to scale it from the center and just make that neck a little thicker. Okay, that's pretty good. Here's another neat tool. I'm going to turn off soft selection by hitting B. Oh sweet, that edge loop's already selected. So I'm going to use a tool now called the slide edge tool. This will move whatever edge or edge loop you have selected based on how the geometry is currently formed by holding the middle mouse button and then dragging. You can see it'll follow the form, but you can move the edge loop to wherever you want. So I'm going to try to even that out a little bit more. I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop, and we're going to add just one here in the center, holding Shift, so it auto does that. Now I'm going to zoom out. Still a hard edge there, so I'm going to go to Mesh Display, Soften Edge. Boom. What a good start to our little wizard boy. Baby, how handsome was I when I met you with Corey? Dude, you were the most beautiful man that I've seen in my entire life. When I saw you, and after you left, I cried for days, Mark. I didn't know who was going to play Lords of the Waterdeep with me, or who couldn't see the color green. It was an amazing experience. Oh shit, it's John Dinkelberg. What's up, John Dinkelberg? Welcome to the stream. Alright, let's compare this to the main reference here. How's his neck? His neck could actually still be thicker. Okay, something I should note. His head kind of tapers straight down. So instead of editing the entire neck, I'm going to go to where the back of his head is. I'm going to select the where the division line would be. Hopefully. Come on, Maya. Why are you slowing down now? I'm streaming. You can't be doing this to me. Alright, we're just going to grab that little bit that's part of his neck. I'm going to hit soft selection. I'm going to shrink that down. And I'm going to pull that out. So it's a little bit... Oh shit, we got a Dichichua sound. Da, da, da. $10 from... Dude, you have to calm down. You're sending me too much money, man. It's from Empiage again. Morra is waifu 100%, especially since he said my name right. Fuck yes. I hope I didn't botch it this time. So proud, lol. Also, nothing's wrong with my YouTube account. I'm just in the middle of the sea. In the middle of the sea? Interesting, okay. And we have the ability to log into YouTube accounts disabled. Not sure why. Again, Morra's waifu. Whoa. What happened to my monitor? Why did things go black? Oh, thank you so much again, man. You're so generous. Alright, so now you can see he's got a weird vertebrae looking thing. We don't want that. We want a smooth lizard boy. So, I'm just going to delete history again because my computer's bogging up a bit. Hold on, I'm going to close down some tabs that I don't need. My computer's not good, so bear with me. I need OBS, that's important. Oh, I don't need Photoshop anymore. The stream is still going, so it's not starting soon. Alright, let's smooth this bad boy out. We're going to use very soft selections here, but I'm going to select the vertex. I'm going to shrink that down to just the adjacent verts. And I'm going to switch to the side view. There we go. And we're going to try our best to just smooth... Actually, I want to pull that out more. Sometimes skipping every other vert's a good idea to get the smooth going with smooth or soft selections selected. I'm gonna select the. Actually, I'm gonna select drag so I get the vert on the other side as there as well. Same thing for this one. And we're gonna get it like that ish. No, I need these two. I'm gonna pull these out. Pull these out. Alright. Now I'm going to... This is pretty decent. Let's see how bad this looks when I do this. First off, I'm going to delete history. I'm going to save. Because anytime I'm going to do an extensive operation, I want to make sure nothing's going to explode in my face. So I'm going to save that out. That is 2. Now I'm going to use a process called average vertices. That's going to try to average all the vertices out to be equal distance. So I'm going to go to Edit Mesh, under the Vertex section. No, yeah, and Average Vertices. So let's see. Boom. Okay, that shrunk our boy a little bit. Don't want to do that. Too early. So I'm going to undo that. Okay, it's not bad. I'm going to manually select these two verts here. Turn off soft selection. I'm going to try to drag these in line. By using this thing so it doesn't pull off the axis I want it to. It may be a little rough, and I'll edit that in a bit, but there we go. His neck's looking more in portion right now. So let's move on to his little cute legs. He has boots on, so we don't have to worry about modeling feet too much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything that's going to be his legs. Let's look at our reference a bit more. How do his legs connect? Okay, so he's got a big tail underneath. I probably won't make it start with the same parts of his body like it is in this, just for rigging reasons. I can see that ahead of time. I'll probably make the tail pop out in the back half here, and we'll make his legs... I'll make his legs big boys. So they're perfectly on the side, it looks like? Yeah. Short answer, no, it's not free. Hold on, more. Bleach is gonna be the death of me. I have to watch. Oh, I thought you were talking about actual Bleach. Yes, Bleach kills. Dude, it's ZXC. That's my boy. He's gonna be rigging the Lizard Wizard. He's great, man. I'm sure I'll be streaming with him at some point later in life. But yeah, so Maya is free if you are downloading the student version. If you go to the Autodesk website, you just have to input an email. I don't even think it has to be a .edu. But that's all you got to do, and you can use this program. You just can't use it for anything professionally. You can use it for VR chat, but do not ever try to sell anything you made with that with a student license. If you do, they will come after you. Also, I'm sure ZXC right now will try to talk up Blender. Blender's a good alternative, but if you want to follow along with what I'm doing, you can't do Blender. So, I'm going to see if I can't mirror the selection by just going to Symmetry Object X. Not Object X, how about Object Y? Not Object Y, how about Object Z? There we go! Woo! That's sometimes all you gotta do to figure things out. I'm actually going to deselect this back half here. I want to leave a little more room for the tail. I'm going to bring those forward a little bit. Actually, maybe I just don't do them at all, because that doesn't leave much room for his belly. So I'm then going to, with this geometry selected and symmetrical, I'm going to hit the extract button. And I'm going to pull these out. And look at that, he's got little stumps now. I'm going to move to the side view so I can easily see what we're making here. I'm going to scale these down so they're a little more tapered, and I'm going to try to make these stand perfectly straight. You want to model your things in T-pose. If you don't, you're going to regret it later when you give it to your rigger and your rigger is very unhappy with you. You can also do A-pose. A-pose is good as well. Yeah, 3ds Max is also made by Autodesk. I don't know. I hear a lot of people use Maya as their main thing. That's what I've learned to use, so it's what I use my modeling in. First and foremost, I'm going to just grab my mesh. I'm going to soften edge again. So now he's got his smooth boy legs. But you can see that doesn't look too smooth. Those also don't look like legs. So I'm going to do my best to edit the geometry here to look how I want by grabbing this face in here. I'm going to get the soft selection back on, drag that out, and we're going to make his little stumpies. I'm probably going to have to fix the geometry on the inside a little bit, and we'll get there when we get there. All this shitty songs, what's going on? Too hard electro right now. I hate this. What's this one? I'm not your bitch, fuck off. You're in my stream. Speaking of being in my stream, congratulations, your name's now Blue ZXC. Abuse your power, I mean enforce your power to those who need it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to vertex mode. I'm going to turn off soft selection. I'm going to grab all the verts at the bottom here. So that's going to grab everything his feet are. I'm going to grab, or go to the scale tool. I'm going to take the Y scale and I'm going to flatten that perfectly flat. So his feet are little nubs and all the vertices are on the same points here. We'll work with that in a bit. Actually, no, before I do that, no, I'm going to do that. Never mind. Commit. I'll never give up. I'm now going to just, for the sake of keeping things clean and easier, I'm going to select all these faces that are underneath now. I just want the verts. There's probably an easier way to do this, but this is how I'm doing it. I'm just going to do them. So this way we have his little legs, his cute little chubby legs. I'm going to try to make these more spherical, a little more round, because this is a round characters in just terms of character design are cute characters. So we want to make things as round as possible because this is a cute fucking lizard boy, if I do say so myself. Okay, geometry got a little dirty here. I'm gonna try my best to select and fix these things. Oh man, how does this work? Okay. I'm just going to try to select the verts that are a little smushed right now and pull these out. We just got to work on this lizard's grundle for a bit. There we go. good lizard grundle. And I'll worry about cleaning that up even more so later. Okay, and I'm gonna bring this geometry down so it smooths out better. And look at that, what a good lizard taint. Alright. What the fuck are you talking about, Zixie? Alright. Let's see here. These... I'm gonna try to make these more spherical, more cylindrical rather, I should say. And more spaced out correctly. Actually, let's just use the slide edge tool. We learned about that today. There you go. Edge, slide edge. Slide that edge. Alright. You can see the vertex has got a little wonky, so I'm gonna just do the same thing and flatten them out again. What do you mean? He called me gay, so that was my comeback. I didn't see anyone say that, I'm sorry. It's hard being a job, but someone's gotta do that. Yeah, dude, the blue name means you get a shitpost in chat. Ultimate power. Alright, so let's see what we want to do next. Let's look at our lizard boy. Where's he at? There he is. Alright, let's look at his legs. This one has good leg reference. So he has an extreme tapering down to a very, very thin things that probably can't support him, but that's okay. It's a cute character design, so we don't want to make this realistic. I'm going to grab all the verts. I'm going to grab this scale tool again, but instead of flattening down, we're going to taper these down into like nothing. His legs, are they too long? Let me see from this side. Actually, no. If anything, I think his body's a little too thin. We're going to emphasize this bean shape of right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this thing, turn on soft selection, make it a big boy. Fortunately, it's going to affect our feet a little bit, which means we're probably going to have to edit things a little more, but that's okay. I'm going to push that in. I'm going to go down to his butt, pull out the butt a bit to emphasize the S-curve. S-curves are very, very important if you want models to have a good life to them. S-curves and C-curves, they are what give things form and life. The human spine is naturally in an S-curve, and you have to do that throughout the entirety of your design. When we get to the legs, too, I'm not going to model them straight down. I'm going to go S-curve, and then we're going to get to the legs here, and those two are going to make their own little S-curves for the feet, but it's like a reverse F, or S. So... dude, this guy's jamming. Alright. Turn off soft selection. I'm gonna grab my feet. I'm gonna... do I need to move them down lower? I guess so, yeah. That looks really tall, though. That's okay. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna drop it to about where his ankle would be. And we will come back to the feet in a bit because we're gonna have to make boots. I'm not gonna actually model the rest of his feet, except for his... actually, you know what? Let's do the knees. We can do the knees. So I'm gonna go to Mesh Tools, insert Edge Loop, and I'm gonna select that. Wow, those edge loops are shit. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna select all the vertexes, and I'm gonna flatten them out. So let's see here. I'm having to go off a different image that doesn't really have where his knees would be. He has a pretty solid, just kind of curve to it. So we gotta make fat lizard boy knees. I'm gonna expand these a little bit. I'm gonna translate them a little more forward so there's a little more of a curve to them. And now I'm just gonna add a lot of edge loops, and hopefully they don't look as weird. That looks garbage. I'm gonna keep that there for a bit. These should be good though. Yeah, there we go. Maybe we make his legs more C curves. I don't know, we'll figure it out. We'll put one here for now. So let's grab this edge loop by selecting the edge and then double clicking the one on the left. Flat. Gonna make him a little bigger and get that hind going. Since he's a bipedal character, we're going to need that to. We're gonna do more human-based knees than animalistic knees. This is sad. What's sad, hello person? I'm ignored again. No, I'm sorry. I'm scrolling up now. Hello person. I made a reference. Morra knows best. Yeah, your editing is quite good. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read everything. You're not a friend, so don't worry. You're good, hello. You're good. Not a frog boy, lizard boy, Tom G's. Hey, Proximity, how you doing? Streamer hates you and wants you to do his job in chat. Oh, of course, I know, but we still gotta get his body proportions down. He's gotta have that. We're good modelers here. We're gonna make sure everything looks good, even the forms underneath. What's up, Brendan Rogers? How you doing? Morra, I like pineapple on my pizza. The reason I said this is because I remember Ash's stream and y'all were talking about pizza. Yeah, goddamn right, pineapple on pizza is fantastic. If anyone says otherwise, this stream's not for you. I'm gonna grab these edge loops here, or not these, but those edges in the front here. I'm gonna turn off soft selection, make them small. I'm gonna pull it out a little more, just to really emphasize how beefy we're making his legs. He is a thick, thick lizard boy. I'm also going to show you how to select some edge loops here. So I want to select a good part up to his torso a little bit. So I'm going to go to the edge loop, or the edge where I want it to stop. I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to double click there. And that's going to select all the edges up to there. I'm going to turn on soft selection a little more than that. And I'm going to pull these out a little more. So he's a little fatter. Maybe not that fat. Maybe like that. I'm going to just hold control to deselect. I'm going to take a little bit of these away. I'm going to make his legs a little fatter though. Not his rest of the body though. There we go. It's not too bad. Alright, cool. Look at him. He's got a good body arm. Now we're going to do the arms. Everyone's favorite. So let's look at how his arms are done. You can definitely see the S curve in his hands here. Very curvy, very expressive. His hands are going to be a little interesting to do, and I'll show you how to do those in detail. But the first thing we got to do is make his shoulders. Shoulders are interesting, and I've never had to teach them, so give me a sec as I try to verbally remember how to do them, and not just like do it out of muscle memory. Okay, first off, I know we extract. We're gonna pull it out of this line so it does that. I'm gonna hit rotate, which is the E key bind naturally. So I'm going to rotate this in on the X. Nope. Okay, this is a small glitch sometimes Maya has, is when you extrude something, sometimes it thinks we're talking about the entire model, and you can see me just destroy my lizard boy right now. I'm gonna do that. So all I have to do is just deselect and then reselect the faces you extruded. And now we're going to go back to rotate, and now it's just going to rotate the faces. So I'm going to bring these in pretty hefty. I'm going to bring these out a little... Oop, hold on. I'm going to bring these out a little more. I'm going to go to Insert Mesh Tool. Actually, hold on. Before I do that, I'm going to try to make these as rounded as possible. I'm not gonna worry about the upper part here. More, keep in mind. Oh no, you already said that. Hey Brandon, how you doing? I think I already said that. I don't know. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do next? I'm gonna go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. I'm gonna insert an edge loop very close to his body here. It's not gonna be as gridded out like the rest of these, but we're doing this to create his armpit. Now what I'm going to do is his shoulders are probably going to be too strong here, but what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to face mode. I'm going to select these three faces, and I'm going to extract these out. Now, this way, we're going to create a nice... let's do an A pose for this guy. Is that good, Zexy? You're fine doing a little A pose for this guy? I'm gonna assume as a yes. I know chat's slow on my end because I set the recording settings so I have maximum quality. Yes, do an A pose. Awesome. Okay, so we do this because your shoulders are very predominant. They're actually also very square. We're gonna try to keep this anatomically correct for a low poly thing, but let's do this next. We're gonna try to smooth this out. Actually, you know what? Let's save. I haven't saved in a long time. And we're gonna increment save. You know what? I get this power, and I'm gonna enforce it. Oh, I can't time you out? Only mods can time people out? Why can't I time people out? I'll put user in timeout. Wow, I didn't mean 300 seconds. Why can't I time people out for less than that? Oops. Sorry, CXC. I thought I wanted to make it for like 15 seconds as a joke, but now he's just gone. Fucking rip. Does that kick him out of the stream too, or just can he not chat? F for respects for my boy ZXC. I regret what I've done. Oh. This song's copyrighted, apparently. Is it? Skip. Next one, please. You can't just start me off back where I started. Okay, hold on. I need to find more music. Copyright free music. Don't get me banned. Let's listen to chill royalty free music. This is good. Alright. So back to the model. I'm gonna round out his limbs a little more. $300 seconds is such a long time. I actually want to give this guy a little more geometry in his arms, so I'm going to go insert edge loop. Now this is going to make an edge loop around here, which is very good for me, because I don't add anything more to the body, but just directly where we need it, which is why I extrude the shoulders this way. And we'll make the shoulders look a little more natural so he's not shrugging the entire time. But I think this is a very important thing to have. No, Mark. No, it's not. You don't get your lunchable garbage mentality out of here. That is not... Oop, still a vegetable selected. That is not a pizza. Or, sorry, a sandwich. That is a shitty, sad lunchable. Whoa! I just read Discord 60 says he's gonna time everybody out in my chat when he gets back. Alright, so let's start. Let's do a little more modeling. That's why we're all here, not to fuck with ZXC. I'm gonna select all these verts, and I'm going to scale these down, because if he has thin arms, does he not? Let's see. Let's go back to our main reference. Fucking, what's going on? What the fuck is going on? There we go. Maya, come on. Yeah, he's got pretty thin, tiny arms with big hands. Big hands are very big and stylized characters. So... let's see here. I'm gonna shrink these down a bit, and I'm gonna drag these in. That gives him really big shoulders. Alright, let's see if I can't do something else. I'm going to delete all my type and save again because I'm going to do a really big change here and I want to make sure nothing explodes. I'm going to go to the sculpting tools, which are new in Maya 2017, I believe, or it could be 2016 as well. I'm going to choose the smooth tool here. So when I do this, I'm going to shrink my brush size by holding B, just like you would soft selection. And if I tap this, it should smooth the verts out very nicely. Yeah, look at that. I'm going to do it a little more at the haunches here, so it creates a nice pivot of where the clavicle would be. There we go, that's good. And I'm going to jump back to normal modeling mode. These are still hard edge, so I'm going to go to mesh display, soften edge. Okay. Hold up. You need bread. What if pepperoni and cheese between two crackers? Like, how much you need before it's a sandwich, huh, Morra? What are you, sandwich gatekeeper? Yeah, I fucking am! God, let me tell you, I know my sandwiches. Corey is disgusting and wrong when it comes to his sandwich opinions, and we're not going to even go into what he thinks, because it's just so disgustingly wrong. But I can say at the very least that it becomes a sandwich when it looks like a fucking sandwich and not crackers. Gonna pull out those verts there a little bit to make the armpit a little nicer. Hey, welcome, Dima. How you doing? We're making our lizard boy. I hope you've missed a little bit, but it's okay. I'm gonna go over the basics. We're basically repeating ourselves to show you how to make a good little man. So let's make his arms even thinner. It looks like they are pretty thick. We're still symmetrical. Scale that down. That's good. That's about his arm lengths. Okay, good. Now we got our little lizard boy. Let's make his tail. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select these three verts to make his tail. So in the geometry right now, I'm gonna try to make that as circular as possible before I extrude. Just make my life a little easier. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna scale these out a little bit actually. I'm gonna turn on a very soft selection. I'm going to scale this up so his tail's a little bigger, so it has a little more predominance in the back. You can see it's coming out a little bit, but that's what we want. Go back to normal selection mode. I'm going to reselect these faces just to ensure that nothing's happening. Going to go back to my polygons tab, and I'm going to hit the extrude button. And I'm going to... Oop, not that one. Not that one. Okay, we're having the extrude push again. Just reselect it. We should be able to do that now. Perfect. I'm gonna grab this on display. ZXE, you should be untimed out now. Would it be better for this model to be with a straight tail, or should I do the curvature that the tail has? Like, I'm thinking about keeping it like default this one if we were going to do it. Or is that more on the rig end? Let's wait for my rigger's input. It's always good to work with your people that are going to be working on this model with you. Straight? Awesome. Okay, will do. In the meantime, I can already tell his butt needs to be bigger here. So I'm going to select this edge loop. Hit F to focus on that so I can tumble my camera around. As I thought, didn't select these edges down here. And we're going to expand this a little more. How do I want to do this? I'm going to turn on soft selection for this actually, so it starts moving the other verts with me. And I want to have like a smooth underseam to where it goes to his crotch, so we want to lift that up more than lift it down. I'm going to readjust some of these verts to smooth out the tail transition.
Take a trip, if you will. Choke and smoke or happy pills. A little something.
And I'm going to select all the faces again. Mesh display, soft on edge. Now he's got a soft tail. Alright, he's got a long tail. So let's do some guesstimation here. So it's got... I'm gonna use my fingers for this. I take my thumb and try to pinch that together, and I'm gonna rotate my thumb around to try to do that. So he's got 2, 3, 4.5, probably 4.5 of this length right here. So he's got a long fucking tail, actually. Vertex, keep it straight. I'm gonna rotate so it's flat. I'm gonna shrink that tail down to near nothing. We're gonna keep that very thin. See, that's not what we want. That's a flat tail. We're gonna push these in. There we go. Now he's got a little pointy tail. Select all those vertices they already were, and we're gonna drag that out. That's probably the length of his tail, I would say. And the good news is we are not ending in triangles here. We don't try to avoid triangles as much as possible when you're modeling. Oh, where'd it go? Hold on. Because triangles just are not great for deformation and in general much things. Even though a lot of MMD models look triangulated, it's not a good practice. I'm gonna grab these verts, the corner verts here, and I'm gonna pull these out so it smooths and we create a fake triangle. Would we better do that? No, we're not. It's a little too far out, I think, so I want to bring that in just to soften the transition of that. Is that smooth? Yeah, okay. There you go. And that's so small, no one's going to notice the little thing. He's a long boy. No, ZXC was right. I just meant straight out. Oh, God. So I thought you said you didn't want to have the tail not be attached to the main body all in one piece. Oh, yeah, no. Sorry, I understand. Now I'm the confused one. I'm making a thick, cutie wizard lizard. You goddamn right, Bouncy. Yeah, so ZXC is a fantastic rigger. Basically, what a rigger does, Mark, is it makes things move. They are what allows things to fully be functional from being a base model. Like if I just go to my site real quick, you can see this was the latest avatar that I did, where he just made he boned it all. He boned this anime girl, you could say, and it allows you to move it in any which way you want. So you can lift the arms, it deforms. You can see her cloth deforms very fucking well, I have to say, because it's so hard. And like me yesterday, you can just get smashed in VR, and that's why VR Chat's a fantastic game. Alright, let's see here. What could we do next? Let's start his eyes. That's going to be the hardest part. How do I approach this? So he's got big eyes. First and foremost, I'm going to destroy our little lizard boy. He's been such a good partner, but unfortunately we have to go into this process of the modeling of where I cut him in half. I'm gonna select all the vertexes, and I'm gonna select not vertexes, what am I doing? I'm a goob. Faces. I'm gonna select all the faces up to the center point and try to get that as close as possible, because I know we have very, very close tail lines in the back. Oh, I have fucking symmetry on still. Rip. Alright, redo that. Select, go to faces, deselect the faces. Oh my god, please. I'm dying here. Stop this. And I'm going to drag select, trying to get that as close to that line as possible, and we're going to delete that. I'm going to jump back into orthographic view, or not orthographic, perspective view. And as you can see, we did not fully delete these. I knew these were too small. I'm gonna delete these last 3. So our lizard boy is now severed. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is this way you don't have to repeat everything you've done on the other end. And now symmetry is good for that, specifically because I'm working with a new mesh here as I create a new polygon sphere. Smooth this down. And I'm going to bring this up. This is going to be his eye. And we got to form his face to this perfectly. So I'm going to jump into this orthographic view. And I'm going to make his eye the right size. Now, a big thing you have to remember. I'm going to just move this to the side here. Your eye is way bigger than you think. It's funny seeing how slow this chat is, because now you're all just pressing F for the lizard. I thought you were making up a brain. Making the clothes is actually pretty easy, Mark. We're going to be doing that in just a moment, but I wanted to start with the face first. So, the skull that holds your eyes are, like, you have to think about the skull and the anatomy that's underneath. Your eyes are pretty big, and they need to be that, especially for this guy. This guy's eyes are huge. I would say his eyes go, you see the bridge of his eye here? That's going to be the top of the skull. Like, if I'm going to actually open up Photoshop here real quick. Oh shit, my tablet's not working, is it? Yeah, it's on the other screen. Okay, I'm gonna do this badly with a mouse, so forgive me. This is not my true art skills. So I'm gonna just open this up, create a new layer, go to sketch, and we're gonna make it black. So the skulls, they're pretty cool. He's gonna have a rounded skull. That's gonna go like this pretty much, and he's gonna have little teeth if we want to be anatomically correct. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to have to go like this. He's going to have part of his jaw. Let's see how his reference looks. So his jaw is actually going to be up here, which is very small. So his jaw is going to come down like this. And his eye is going to be pretty huge. So we got a big... He's got a big eye, but the skull... Let me see here. I'm going to turn on my favorite little tool that I have that's called Peek Through. Lets me see through. And I'm going to scale this up to be about size. Pan. Look at this. And, you know what? Here. That's good enough, actually. Never mind. I'm not going to redraw. If I make it a little bigger. Yeah, that's about closer. So I'm going to draw his eye. His eye socket's going to be a little rounded, and it's going to be about the size of where the bridge goes. Of the curve of the eye. So, when we do that, I'm going to turn off Peek Through. You can see his eye is going to actually be bigger, because remember, the sphere... If we have a sphere... Oh my god. This is going to be hard. Drawing with a mouse is not easy. If we have a sphere, only a little bit is poking out of the skull. Like if this was the eye. So we have to, and like this is the rest of the skull. So the eye, actually, the sphere of the eye can actually go a little larger in size. So it's only poking out a little bit. So we have to keep that in mind when we're doing this. So I'm going to jump back here. I'm going to bring his eye in. That was an anatomy lesson from Morra. I'm going to make his eye about this big, I think. We'll pull it out. Let's see where his eyes are. Now, the side view is only so good because it's not perfect, so I'm going to try to just make this look as natural as possible. Hey, what's up, Lizzie? How you doing? Oh, you're talking about the lizard. I feel dumb now. Random question, but if the stuff were small as defined by you, would you be willing to do a little random model stuff for me? I'm thinking about ripping the hair off a model to transport to another. Really depends, Mark. I don't mind helping you out at all, but shit's busy. But yeah, talk to me in Discord, and we'll get over that. So another thing I should mention: eyes always should have the pointed out like this. You're just going to want that for animation purposes. So I'm going to go to my attribute editor. I'm going to make sure this rotate is set to a perfect 90 degrees turning from where it was. So we're going to set him out. His eyes are rotated a little more forward like this. So we're going to work with his eye like that. Here we go. So let's see here. I am now going to go into... actually, how do I want to do this? I'm going to turn this into preview mode so you can see through everything. I'm going to select the main thing here. And this is the hard part, is I'm going to select every... Not that. I don't want to select that. I'm going to select the faces that the eye socket is going to make. Now, he's got a big fucking eye. And I'm just going to delete these. So when I turn these off, it's going to... It's going to have a big hole in his face. But we're going to use this to form his eye socket now. I'm going to... Oh my god, I keep selecting this. I'm going to select an edge that's underneath there. I'm going to turn on soft selection. Make it... Hold on. Soft selection, make it larger than that. Not by much though. I'm going to pull this out and we're going to start forming his eye. So let's look back at the reference real quick. His eye... All eyes have tear ducts and stuff like that. So if I select that, it should allow me to isolate that. His tear duct's a little bit here, so we're going to try to curve his eye if I go back to Photoshop. Oh, I closed Photoshop. Never mind, I'm not going to open it again. His eye should curve like this. It's really rounded because round is cute, but we still have to take these things into consideration anatomically. I'm going to unhide everything here. And let's start from that. So I'm going to make the curve of his eye with this vert. And I'm going to pull these, rotate these to get the shaping to be as close to the eye as I want. To create the shape before we get to, we're going to create the, God, what the fuck is it called? This, we're creating the ridge of the eye. So we're creating the top of the skull for him. And then we're going to extrude some things out. And this is where things are going to get messy. It's going to take a lot of pushing and pulling to make these things look really good. But that's modeling for you. Alright, I'm going to turn off soft selection. I'm going to manually move these verts now to create this eye. I'm going to go to the side view and turn it not invisible like that. So I can really just create this in a good orthographic view. Pop it on real quick so I can see the ridge. Okay, the ridge of the eye is actually going to go over here. So I'm gonna compensate that in the mesh by pulling these out. Okay, we're actually can pull these a lot. So I'm gonna go a little more drastic. And that should be a good eye. So, a big thing for faces, mouths, and anything of that nature, we need to do what's called concentric circles. Let's see, how do we make that? Welcome back, Ducky! We've jumped a lot around, but hey, look it. We got a lizard-looking thing right now, and we're gonna make him look better. Let's see here. Anything from chat. It's weird seeing 3D modeling software. I'm used to using Blender. Yeah, you get used to it. I've worked a little bit in Blender and Maya, but this is what I prefer, so... Yeah, exactly. So, I am now... You have to use... sorry, where was I? Faces and or eyes and mouths. They have to use a process called concentric circles. So what a concentric circle is it's like an edge loop that curves in. Now you can see we're really decimating the sphere here to not work like a sphere anymore. But we want these, when we're going to extrude these in to make the rest of the eye, we want these to have circular lines. Now I'm going to show you the topology of a human face so you can see what I mean. We need these curves to allow the face to form correctly. This is a very simple one, and I think that's good. So you can see we have circle loops going in for the mouth, and then they connect to the nose, and they eventually bridge out and connect different seams. We also have concentric circles for the eyes. This allows the topology to deform correctly when the rigger gets a hold of it. And yeah. Brandon Rogers says, Morra, you said in your last stream you wanted to work for Blizzard. Is that because you want to create game characters? Yes, I actually want to work in the gaming industry. But good news about Blizzard is I actually got rejected by them just a couple days ago. I got my rejection letter, and I think that's funny. So my response to that is I applied to the Paladins team instead. If I can't work on the big game, I guess I'll work on the knockoffs. Show us a picture of Corey's face. Mark, that's dangerous. I know, you're telling me, Zarb. God. Alright. We're gonna go to the front view here. I'm gonna just hide the sphere and just have the body selected, because this looks like shit. I'm gonna need to make this as curved as possible. Just trying to make this look like a circle. Now this may fuck up everything I'm doing in the other view, but that's okay. We'll work it out. Yeah, it did a little bit. And we'll use this plane so we don't affect anything on the Z scale. Okay, that's decent. It's not bad. That actually is a good shape of an eye. I'm gonna pull this one out a little bit. So just making sure it's as circular as possible. This is not bad. Alright, so I'm gonna bring the eye back in by unhiding everything else. I may go off the model sheet a little bit. You can see I can select the circle there. I'm going to pull this eye forward just a little bit, so it's like that. I'm going to then extrude. We are going to extrude this thing. I'm going to switch to scale mode, and we're going to scale it in. So this way we have new topology for the face. Now, we want to create a, if I'm not mistaken, oh no, that is the bump. Okay, so now we are going into the eye. Alright, I'm going to leave that there then real quick. I'm going to insert a new edge loop. Mesh tools, insert edge loop right here. So this way, I can fully, not the sphere, why does it keep doing that to the sphere? So I can grab these three, and I'm going to pull these out a little bit. Do it to this fourth one here a little bit as well. So this way we can create the little bump that the eye has to show that the skull has shape and form. I'm going to push these ones down a little bit. This is going to create a nice little bump for the eye, and we can work from there. So I'm also going to just go insert, or mesh tools, insert edge loop, and I'm going to hold shift here. So this one creates a nice transition curve. I'm actually going to pull this out a little bit more so I make it a little more drastic myself. So that way it has a nice curve. And now when I go to mesh display, soften edge, that's going to have a nice little lip to it for the lizard's eye. Hey, fuck you, Zixie. I'm not getting rejected by Paladins. I'm going to win that high-res job. And I have to go fucking move to Georgia. Ugh. Sorry if you're from Georgia, anyone. It doesn't sound appealing to me. I'm from the West Coast. I really like Amazon Gaming Studios a lot. Unfortunately, they have no character art positions open, which is what I focus in. But they are very appealing. I love their games designs, and I'm really looking to apply for them once they have a little more openings. Right now, my biggest applications were Riot, but Riot also rejected me because I don't play League. But I have Ubisoft. I'm also applying to... Fuck, I apply to a lot of places. I can't remember, but yeah, life's hard. I really want to see Morra create a new Dawn of War race for Warhammer 400k. Yeah, or 40k, not 400k. That would be fun. I haven't done too much sci-fi work. I definitely prefer fantasy, but yeah. Dude, I'm with you. VR chat job sounds hella. League does suck, but I can't fucking deny that their art is sick. Like, so cool. I love their art. Alright. So, let's edit our topology a little bit here. Turn on soft selection. I'm going to pull these out so it doesn't fully go into the eye yet. We want this lip to be pretty visible from all things, because these are going to be our quote-quote eyelids. And let's see here. So for riggers, ZXE, I don't know if you recall, Did this guy want eye blinking? Do I have to make eyelids here? $2K. No, I have not. I do a lot of stylized work. Like, you've seen what I do. And 2K does, like, a lot of, I believe they do a lot of sports games, do they not? I know they did Borderlands 2 as well. And Borderlands is fun as fuck. Oh no, 2K does a lot of cool things. Oh, what am I thinking of? No, 2K is probably a good company. I would love to work on the BioShock series when they were working on it. And the Borderlands series seems hella. Never played XCOM too much, so I don't know much about it. The Mafia series is pretty decent, but yeah. Okay, he wants blinking eye movement. Okay, I do have to make eyelids. Okay, that sounds good for you guys. So I'm gonna hide this, and now we're gonna make the eyelids. Eyelids are a bitch, and honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna do it right my first time. I haven't done these in a while, but I'm gonna select the top part of the eye, and now we're going to. Actually, I'm gonna insert an edge loop real quick before I do this. Right here again, just so we can have the eyelids be truly separated. And now I'm gonna select the top half of the eye. And we're gonna hit extrude. And I'm just gonna pull these bad boys out. And we're gonna form these to the shape of the eye. So, let's see here. This is gonna be a long and arduous process, but one that can really add a lot of life to the model if it's done correctly. Pull this back. This is gonna require a lot of edge loops to make it look good. I'm gonna select this face here, turn on soft selection, pull that in. I'm gonna select a lot of these faces actually here, so I can pull this out so the eyeball's not clipping through. Same thing for here. I'm gonna turn off soft selection, select this face again. I'm gonna go to the rotate tool. I'm gonna rotate these in a little bit. This is gonna fuck up some of the faces, but we'll work with it. I'm gonna select this face, bring it out. This is just gonna be a lot of topology movement to make things look really good. Another thing I can do, I'm gonna see if this works. I'm gonna save because it's been a while. Is I'm gonna use a process called Make Live. So what Make Live does is it if you're using Blender, it's similar to the shrink wrap. It's like the shrink wrap tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this sphere. I'm going to go to object mode. I'm going to click this magnet that says, hey, anything I'm going to work on next, I want to attach to this sphere. So if I select this vert and I pull it, it's going to snap to the sphere. So this way I can move it accordingly. And I'm going to do that for all the interior verts here. So it's perfectly on top of the eye, and I don't have to do guesswork about trying to make that perfect. Just do that for all the verts. Make sure I'm not clicking on the wrong ones, because if I do that, it's going to be hard to undo. And there's this one. Oop, is this one already attached? There we go. And pull that vert, and that'll put that one up. Okay, cool. Now what this is going to allow us to do is if I select these edges, I'm going to turn off Make Live right now so I can move these accordingly. And if I believe, can I use the slide edge tool and have it work the way I want? Yeah, there we go. Cool. We're getting a soft, smooth transition. I'm going to make sure I'm not fucking this up anyway by hiding everything else but the eye. No, we still have faces underneath. Good. We do, right? Yeah, cool. That's what we want. I'm going to select all these edges. And I'm going to pull them up just a little bit. And I'm going to pull them out on the sides a bit. So when I come back, they should be a little off the eyes. I'm actually going to have to pull them forward so it's not clipping. So this way, this is a good basic shape for forming the eyelid. I'm going to pull this out so this is smooth. See, this is the connecting the eyelids is the interesting part. I don't know the best way to do that. It's always been a struggle, and we'll figure it out. I'm gonna lift this edge a little bit. Be right back. Welcome. It's not a giraffe person. You know this. Come on. How does it usually how long does it take to make one character? It really depends on the complexity. If we are doing something like we were just talking about BioShock, let's talk BioShock Infinite's Elizabeth. Elizabeth is a fantastic character. There's so much good shit here. Her design is just so appealing. Now, to get it to like this level, this is weeks worth of work. But for this little guy, not much. This little lizard should be pretty simple. But if you're trying to do like MMD quality, higher things, that creates a lot of time. This guy I'm hoping to complete in this stream or a stream or two, in terms of the modeling aspect of it. So the next thing I'm going to do is mesh display soften. But that's also because Elizabeth uses a program called ZBrush. And when you're using ZBrush, that's called we're creating a high poly sculpt there. Wait, no, I did mess up, didn't I? I don't think this works. Hold on, what did I do wrong? I have to think. Hey, okay, if I just select these, can I salvage? I'm going to turn on the see-through preview. Shrink these in. I'm going to move each of the... Not selecting the sphere. Why does it do that, man? I'm going to line these up to the best of my ability. And once I make a more complex and advanced character, I'll show you what some ZBrush work does. I love ZBrush. That's my preferred program of use. You can just do some fantastic and crazy things with it. Alright, back to this mode. I'm going to pull these so they're all underneath, just ever so slightly, tucked away, so we can get a good curve. I think they're all doing that. Nope, these two are not. Perfect. And I'm going to select the faces. And it's time to extrude again. Sweet. I don't know if I'm making this harder or easier for ZXC when he rigs the eyes, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to flatten those out. I'm going to curve them with the rotate tool. Whoa, wrong movement. Just lifted that up. We're getting a little bit of clipping. Okay. Man, eyelids are a bitch. Let's see, probably a few out more essentially box modeling right now, which means starting with primitive shapes and edit. Yeah, so this is, yeah, sculpting is a big thing. That, like, I could show you a sculpt that I'm working on real quick just because I want to think about this for a bit. Have you ever made a lewd model? Mark, everything I make is lewd, come on. You can create some very fantastic looking models if you use a sculpting program. Yes, I know the tablet services aren't available. So I'll show you something I'm working on right now for ZBrush if the program would open. So I'm going to drag this over here. Come on. Nope, wrong button. There we go. So this is ZBrush. There's a lot of cool things you can do with this. I'm going to turn off the light box. I'm just going to open a sculpt I've been working on for one of my classes. I'm going to pop it to the side. Desktop, school, independent studies, ZBrush. Yeah, she's got a long way to go for what I'm working on here. But I'm working on an ice elemental. And this is where I've gotten so far for this sculpt. This uses the same things as polygons, but this one is nowhere near box modeling or low poly models. If I go to things, you can see that this one is 2.9 million polygons. And you can see just how crazy the detail is. Like, you can see if I get really close to some of the polygons here. But I'm going to be making this a low poly model, so I'm just starting it out, trying to flesh in forms, trying to figure out what I want to do here. And yeah, so ZBrush can be very, very helpful. It's very, very neat. So, yeah. I'm going to close this and not save, because I'm not working on that right now. We're making lizards in this stream. What the fuck happened? Alright, hold on. I'm going to freeze. I'm going to go to modify freeze transformations. That's going to make sure that this eye knows that for this eye right now, this is the 0, 0 mark, so it doesn't translate anymore. I'm going to get this eye the fuck out of here for a second, because I just need to see the geometry very easy and in my face right now. Okay. Looks like this edge should actually be out more. Now that creates a weird vert here. Oh man, I hate this. How do I do this, man? There's always room to learn. And I don't know what I'm doing. It's what I'm learning. Okay, try to make that as close as possible. This is a weird geometry thing, but eyelids are gross and hard. So I'm going to select this, I'm going to go back to 0, 0, just type in 0 in there, and bring that eye back in. And now we'll snap the faces to the edges here. Why is this sticking out? Okay, vertex, I'm going to select this, tuck that back in like the rest of the eyelid. Okay, fuck it, hold on. I'm going back to live mode. And I'm going to allow the eye to clip here a little bit. Turn off the eye selection. So this way I can... So I don't have to worry about clipping and making sure things are perfect. It'll still look good with the eyes going over the eye. There we go. It's not bad. This needs to be pulled out more, so it's more even flesh. Or how is One Piece? I haven't been watching it. My my roommates are though. I hope so, Bard. Or Bard. Wow. Well, ugh. I'm tired. I hope so, Zarb. I want to work for them. I love their games, honestly. I think Smite is a fantastic game, and I would love to work on that team. Hands suck. That's easy to say. I agree with ZXC there. I'll ask that Morra doesn't go to EA, Activision, or any other subsidiaries that I won't be able to support games he works on. I refuse to buy games from those companies. I understand. EA sucks. There's unfortunately a lot of really good companies that are owned by EA, but I agree. Activision's okay. There's some things that I don't like that they do, but they're not as bad as some companies go. So it's hard. Smite is unbalanced. I'm not talking about gameplay. I think the game is fun, but I'm talking about art. God, their art looks good. Look at fucking Bellona. Bellona is such a good character design. I love her. Anyway, let's finish up these eyelids so I can move on to something more fun. Like making clothes. I may do that after the top eyelid, honestly. I don't want to do the bottom eyelid as well. It's the same process, just a little less high. Basically, you just want the... Oh, these need to be pulled up way more. Basically, if you're making eyelids, the top eyelid goes down way farther than the lower eyelid. So you want the top eyelid to kind of go down to here, and then the lower eyelid kind of just comes up. We're only going to do, like... Imagine if this lizard was stone and he's squinting a lot. That's basically the only that's the length that we're going to take his eyelids. Because we don't want to go all the way, but we just want to have it enough so that the rigger has room to play with deformations. It's a learning curve for Blender and tons of tutorials. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm going to try my best to help you. Oh, microtransactions suck. I 100% agree that. The only microtransactions I think are okay, like in that regard, are cosmetical. Don't pay to win. It's fucking stupid. Like, I don't even give a shit about Star Wars if I'm gonna be real, but I am still upset about Battlefront. But we knew it. We knew it was gonna happen. I'm gonna pull this eyelid up a little more. Because the eye was clipping a little bit. And, you know what? That's okay for now. I'm gonna leave it as that. You guys get the gist. I'm gonna smooth the display. Oh, I hit hardened. Now you can see what a jagged boy he is. Soften edge. And when I save, delete history first. I like Scylla. Dude, I like you. Oh, hold on. Everyone, we're going to take a 5-minute break. My mom's calling. Hey, you're live on the air. What can I do for you? I'm doing pretty good, Mom. I'm just modeling a wizard lizard for... How many people we got right now? I don't know. Hold on. Anyway, how are you doing? What's up with you? Oh, the fucking Oxyotl, isn't it hilarious? I didn't want to say that and make fun of you, but I was just like, because I saw that, I'm like, Mom would find this funny, so I was like, I have to show this. He's cute as fuck, yeah. For those of you who are wondering, we're talking about this GIF right here. I said, this is how I feel playing low tiers of Overwatch. No. Yeah, no, it was funny. I knew you would like it. Good. Okay, I don't know what it was. ZXC sent me a GIF or a voice line of like called the Nightborn Elves. I think that's a new race for the new expansion. They look hella. They're Horde Night Elves. Oh no, WoW is still going strong. It's just, it's not the numbers they used to be. I'm gonna keep modeling, guys, while I'm talking, so... Yeah. I know, that's why I don't like the game. They're making it more mass appealed. Yep. Okay, that's fair. I won't judge you too much. Tell me how the Nightborn elves are. They look super cool. Oh, I mean, I would hope you'd play again if I get actually a job at the WoW position. I do too. I fucking want to be in Washington. I'm working on a wizard lizard. I'll send you a. Yeah, it's a little wizard that's a lizard. I'll send you a photo of it right now. I have it on my desktop so you can see it in Discord. Where's my little wizard lizard? It was a Tumblr image, if I'm not mistaken. It's adequate. Here he is. Yeah, we'll play tonight if you want. I'm still gonna be streaming for a couple more hours. I think. That's fair. I have no school today, so I got all the time in the world. Okie dokie. Well, I'm gonna get back to the community. Everyone say hi to my mom. Yeah, ZXC, who's one of my best friends in VR chat. He's the rigger that does all my work for me. He says hi. He said it before I even said hi. Or tell them to say hi. Yeah. Alright. Now my mom is saying goodbye, everyone. Alright, Mom. Alright, sounds good. Alright, love you too, Mom. Bye. Dude, my mom's fucking hella. She's jumping back into WoW, apparently. She's been looking for a good MMO. She said Guild Wars wasn't cutting it for her. Which I completely understand. Guild Wars isn't my game either. Alright, let's see. How do we want to do this? So, everyone, if you didn't catch what we're doing, we're going to make it the cloak here now. And clothes are a little interesting. So all I did so far is I took a cylinder, I tapered it out to make his little dress, and I deleted the top part so we can start making the actual cloak shape. So let's start off by actually, let's see, how do I want to do this? So this is probably, the cloak here is probably the one we're going to do because this cloak doesn't look good for, movement purposes. Like that cloak, he can't open his arms if he does this. So we gotta have the cloak pretty open. So having a good cylinder to keep his neck in check is gonna be good. So that's what we're gonna do now. Is we're gonna make his little cowl before we move on. So I'm gonna select this edge. It's already selected. Sweet. I'm gonna extrude it out. I'm gonna lift it. I'm going to rotate the cowl down because it's always going to be a little higher in the back of the neck. And we're going to lift that up. Oh, that's the inside. I was very confused for a second. What happened to my voice head? Sweet. Simple. It goes all the way up to the back of his neck, and it has a little crossover, does it? Hold on, let me see here. Select the image, please. There we go. No, it kind of looks like it's just a full circle, which is pretty good modeling purposes, but a little illogical life-wise. Let me check. Yeah, it's just a circle. Weird. Okay. Sweet. That means I don't have to worry about it too much. No, Mark, my mom is not your RuneScape girlfriend. About to hit 1K subs. I know, I'm so excited, Creamy Demise. I'm really hoping to get that. I'm going to be releasing a new VR chat video, hopefully soon. I recorded some last night, but I was drunk, and I don't know if it's any good. So I'm going to have to look at it and see how much of a dumbass I am. I know we played Werewolf, and I hosted a session, which I don't know how I feasibly even did that. Let's see here. Okay. So, normally, I would say we would paint, let me select these. Normally, we would paint these into the textures, these lines, but this one actually has a pretty defined shape, so I'm going to make this in the cowl, and we're going to go from there. So, let's start with the basis, is we want to keep this rooted, where we want it to start, and this is where we want it to end, and this is what we want to expand. So, I'm just going to make that and expand that out. That's going to keep a pretty good version of that. I'm going to shrink that in a little bit. because we're going to move this out so the front's pretty flat, so it affects the outer rims, but not necessarily the inner. So I'm going to go to Mesh Display, Soften Edge again. Now this may be the first time where we actually do harden edge. So we're going to harden the front edge here, except for like these, I think. Let's see how that looks. Mesh Display, Harden Edge. That's not bad. It creates a nice lip for the seam, and I can add more textures there to further emphasize that line. So yeah, we're gonna be good, dude. You can make a cactus wizard. That's why I'm doing these things. Cactuses are simple. I totally believe in you. We're gonna teach you how to make your own guys from scratch to my best of my abilities. And again, guys, if you have any questions about what I'm doing or what you want to do, like, give me a hypothetical and I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you how the best I think it is to approach those things. So let's see here. The cowl is not a perfect circle, so I'm going to select a vertex at the center here, turn on soft selection, expand it, and I'm going to shrink this in a little bit so it creates more of a pinch. I'm actually going to do that more from the sides here. I'm going to go back and mirror my object off the object x-axis, which means it's going to take the x-axis of the object and not the world. I'm going to shrink those in. Kind of doing it. I'm going to select the entire ring, and I'm actually going to turn off symmetry here because it's not doing necessarily what I want. And nope, it's still not doing it. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to select these first two and soft selection, pull that in. That's a little better. And I'll drag these in. Oh, that's going to need Object X back on. Lower the soft selection and curve that out by rotating it, making it a softer curve. Not bad. I made it a little bumpy, so I'm going to slowly pull that out so the cowl is more curved. There we go. There we go. Look at our wizard boy. He's coming along. Morra, is your real name John? Yes, it is. I donated to Ash a long time ago under the name of John, forgetting that was my YouTube name on that, with Super Chat. So, fuck it. I don't really care if people know my real name. Watashi wa John desu. Well, I gotta go for now, but I might come back, have a great rest of the stream. Alright, man, have a good one, Ducky. Thanks for tuning in again. Hello, Morra. It's nice to see you live. Nice to see you in my chat. Thank you for coming, Scorch Whirlwind. Yeah, don't worry about it, Mark. I mean, Corey's already announced his name on here. He's also announced his place of work, so Corey's fucked up and called me John so many times on stream already, so it doesn't really matter to me anymore. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up his cape. I'm going to delete these ones. So he's now got an open cape. Actually, is this what I want to do? I actually think I'm going to delete the bottom half. Because I think there's better ways to do this. Here's what I'm going to do. Where's the pinch? The pinch is at his right side. So this is not a symmetrical cape. That's good to know. I'm going to select all the edges by selecting the edge loop. I'm going to deselect the ones right here at the center. I'm going to extrude. Switch to translate. I'm going to pull these down. And I'm going to open these up. Nope. Not on symmetry mode. So it does it more like that. Good. And here's the next thing that we're going to do. I'm going to take these two edges, and I'm going to extrude these. So this is going to create a small little lip of disconnect there, but we want that right now. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two vertexes, I'm going to shrink them into each other, I'm gonna pull them down. Actually, you know what? Not at that extreme. Hold on, I'm gonna undo that. Shouldn't have done that yet. I'm just gonna pull these down, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take these vertexes and target weld them to that vert, so they do actually part down the middle here. Oh, actually, it's at the middle. I forgot. Or it's not at the middle. It's over on the right side here. Okay, never mind. We're gonna take some steps back before I extrude it. I'm gonna turn off symmetry, and I'm going to remove everyone but this one. And now I'm going to extrude. Sorry about the backpedaling. This is what art is, though. We're working and figuring things out. Do the same thing. Oh, that's the Chichiro sound. Hold on, let's do what was sent to me. $10 from Ash says smooch. Mwah! I love you, Ash. Thank you. Ash is such a good person. If you somehow are on my channel, but you don't know about them, go subscribe to Ash and Era Games. They make some of the best content out there for VR chat, in my opinion. They're fantastic people, and show them your support, please. Alright, and now we're going to extrude these two edges. Actually, wait, did I already do that? I want to make sure that I'm not duplicating my product. No, okay. Sometimes you can hide edges like that, and that's not a good thing. You want to be very careful with that so you don't have overlapping edges. There we go. So you see the issue here now. I don't have anything to target weld these two. So I'm just going to create another edge loop there by going to Mesh Tools, insert edge loop, and boom! Done. Easy. Solve solutions. Go back to target weld, go to vertex, start popping these bad boys on there so there's like a nice separation now. And now we can start building this cloak out. First things first, I'm going to select the cloak, grab the vertexes, base these out so they're flat. And now you can see his belly's coming out because we made our lizard a little fat boy. But fat lizards are good lizards. So, actually, hold on, I forgot there was a couple pings for me. Did you hear what happened to Shy's stream yesterday? No, I didn't actually. I didn't catch Shy's stream. I was very busy, unfortunately, yesterday. Nothing at all happened on Shy's stream yesterday. Zarb, I'm getting conflicting information. Alright, have a good night, Zero. I doubt you're still here with how long it took me to read that. I'm sorry, but have a good night, ma'am. Meteor yesterday's first thing I did. Hey, Ash. You made the gun, but you have the armor. Hi, Ash. Oh, is Kakureta here? Oh, hey, Kakureta. How you doing, man? That's another Nichijou sound. What a happy tune. I love the Nichijou soundtrack. From ZXC, gave me a $1. It says I'm cheap, but here's $1, babe. You want to go to Applebee? Dude, ZXC knows how to treat a lady. We are going to Applebee's. We're going to get those 2 for $20s. I think that's Applebee's. I don't know. That could be Chili's. Either way, we got $1 of that 2 for $20. We're going to go get them. Zarb, you little dirty boy. You're just shipping yourself with everyone? Wow. So here's the interesting part. We have to open up the cape now to go over his arms up barely. Actually, I'm going to bring ZXC into a call right now if he's available, because I need his opinion. So ZXC, you may want to pause the stream. I'm going to call you, and you're going to get this call before you hear this. Hey, Boo, are you here? I'm gonna pause the music real quick so I can talk to ZXC. Hang on, my mic is dead. Not. Oh.
Hello?
Hello!
Oh shit!
Dude, we're going to Applebee's. No. So, okay, for his cloak here, we want it to default sit like, let me find the actual images so you don't have to wait for the stream. We want it to sit like this one, this image. And how would be the best place for me to model this? Because it's an A pose right now. Now, normally that may be easier. Should I tuck the cape behind the arms over here? Or should I just have the capes?
Don't worry about it. Let it clip, because if you keep it as a separate object and I rig it, I'll just move it after I rig it so that it's posed.
So should I pose it in this shape? Or in the shape that's in the picture?
No. You can just let it clip through the arm. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm talking about the cape being opened for the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Everyone, say thanks to ZXC. He's my good little boy.
Hi. Thank you, ZXC. How was your chat?
Dude, my chat's great. I'm so glad you're here moderating it and insulting them, but also helping them.
Well, I mean, hot dogs are sandwiches. So.
Okay, fuck you, band. Alright, let's turn the music back on. This stream is brought to you by Applebee's, the worst restaurant I think I've ever been to. Alright, we're going to... ZXC says I should just make it look like this because I don't have to worry about it, which fucking fantastic. That makes my job easier. So I'm going to insert edge loops here, and we're going to start conforming this little thing to the shape of his little lizard body. So I'm going to just drag this out, and you can see he's got a lot of room. He's got a big belly, and we got to compensate for that. Expanding it out, making it fit better. Same thing for this one. How the fuck does his tail work? Okay, his tail goes underneath. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Should I'm gonna wait for ZXC to actually hear this chat. Should I point the tail down in this direction then so it can fit under the cloak, or is clipping still just fine? Joshua, don't you dare say Pop-Tarts are sandwiches. That's so incorrect. Please, no. Not a sandwich war. Not now. We were doing so good. And I'm going to actually expand this one a little bit more and bring it down. And now he's got like a nice little dress on. Look at him. Now comes the fun part of pulling this to look like this. This is going to be dirty, inconsistent, and confusing. But I'm going to do my best. Nope, don't want that one. And we're going to select... Oh, that's right, we made a planner. Alright. Just going to rotate that. Pull that out like that. Pull it up. Pull it back down. Push it back. And we're going to try to open this to the best of our ability. I'm going to bring these edges out more so I don't have to look at them. Man, I wish I could play some lead shit on my channel right now. I don't care if it is free music. It ain't doing it for me. Quesadillas are also sandwiches. ZXC, just answer my... Oh, clipping doesn't matter, you already did, okay. Because I can bend it properly. Sweet. Is a kebab a sandwich? No, a kebab is literally on a stick. Oh God, I am passionate about sandwiches, guys. I really am. But oh my God, what you guys think are sandwiches are just sinful. All right. Here's what I'm gonna actually do. I'm gonna delete this edge loop because I don't want this here. There's too many edge loops. Oh my God, please stop selecting my fucking lizard boy's body. He's a delicate boy. And I'm going to select this edge loop. I'm just going to hit delete. Boom. It's gone. Don't have to worry about it. I'm going to switch to vertex. Okay. Forgot. Select the part you want. And when you do that, you have to hit control. Hold control and then delete. That way it also deletes the vertex. Because if you don't do that, you're going to have floating vertex and then you have an end gone. If you have an end gone, you're going to cry. And I'm going to actually just select this edge here. I'm gonna use the slide edge tool. We've learned how fantastic this thing is. Oh shit, actually, wait, hold the fuck up. I should have just used the slide edge tool in the beginning. That would have made things so much easier. You know what? I've committed thus far. I will carry on. See? Look how easy this is. Oh, man. Easy peasy. And how far does it open up? It goes completely to his side. Okay, man. We got a long opening to do here. Let's delete more edge loops. I don't want these. We can do a couple of them. They're not doing anything for this form. At least not yet, anyway. Go back to my mesh tools. Not target weld, slide edge, please. There we go. I'm going to select my edges again because it hasn't selected. Now I realize I'm probably going to have to readjust the cowl because I'm sliding these edges and it's fucking up the neck, but I'd rather get the form of this this cape opening first because the cowl is way easier to fix than it is to fix this cape opening. Alright, we can delete more edge loops here. Let's delete this one. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to hide it so it's only this. I'm actually going to delete this face, and I'll tell you guys why. Well, actually, no, I'll do that in a bit, but I am going to do that. I'll show you why I'm going to do that, because it's going to make things a little cleaner later down the road. Slide edge, slide it open more. And now we have to manually drag these out because we can't slide an edge if it's the very end. Cool. Alright, how's that look? Oh, I disabled streamer mode. Hold on. I forgot I did streamer mode enabled now since I turned it off to talk to ZXC. Privacy. No? Allow direct message, yes. Oh man, streamer mode, there we are. Activate streamer mode, sorry, there we go. What is that? Yeah, hey, apparently the rig, hold on, let me read this message. There's one thing I can't do in the 2 designs and the textures. There's only one texture for the moving mouth. I need a texture file. Yeah, I know, I gotta do that. Alright, sorry. Talking to past commissioning. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Back to the thing. LOL, thanks, ZXC. Since Morra is bad and didn't explain that, and Ngon... Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, ZXC. Covering my ass. He's got me. Yeah, no, an Ngon, you can't have Ngons. You can only have polygons, which are 4 sides, and triangles. If you do any more than that, Maya's gonna scream. Or any modeling program really will scream. So here's what we're going to do. This is why I'm going to delete this face. So I'm going to delete this face now. This way I can insert more edge loops here. without adding a bunch of geometry. Oh. Come on. Nope. Why did they get the one in the back? Get the one in the front here. Good. Nope, that's gonna pull that. Alright, I'm gonna do these default and I'll manually push these. So this way I can add more geometry and make that curve better. And now I'm going to, oh god, actually, how do I want to do this? No, I'm gonna step back. I don't think this is gonna work the way I wanted it to. I mean, that's not bad, honestly. Like, when I perfectly form this out and not have it be rough, I'm gonna insert another edge loop here just to. Actually, I'm gonna do 2. Fuck it. And I'm gonna have to insert at least 2 more down the edge here, which is a lot. But you know what? I'll slide my edges and we'll make this work. So let's just. Oop. I mean, I will need an edge loop there later, but not right now. I'm just gonna grab these 3 edges and I'm gonna use slide edge, so we can slightly pull these to the side and make more room. Oh, that was Nichijou. Alright. Donations. Yes. What do we get? We got Ampiage! Oh my god! $19. Here's another $19 needed for your Applebee's. 2 for 20. Enjoy, smiley face of the week. Dude, ZXC, you and me. Okay. Apparently I'm buying now, so that makes... Oh, that's hilarious. Thank you, Ampiage. You're so generous, man. Oh, is Brandon leaving? Alright, man. Have a good one. Sorry if I missed this already, but peace, man. Have a good one. I really love your ideas on the models more. I'm glad. I'm going to try to make this as nice and easy as possible for everyone. Let's pop back into our view here so we can see how he's looking. I'm going to select this edge here, turn on soft selection, and shrink it in. Not too much. But I'm going to pull this out and start reforming the cowl shape that we had before. I'm also going to take these 3 edges, and I'm going to use the slide edge tool so I can pull them a little more towards the center here. We can have this weird shaped polygon, but this will create a more cylindrical and circle. Oh my god, another donation! $15. Is this the real sandwich lore master from Yelpana? Yeah, Yel, I got you. I will teach you anything you want to know about sandwiches. Alright, Yel, because of this donation, you get 1 free sandwich added to the sandwich list. Put it in chat. I'm going to add that to my sandwich repertoire now. This is confirmed. Thank you, man. Your donations mean a lot to me. I'm gonna go. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy a better CPU with this, and I'm gonna just actually be able to record things. I may go to bed. My chest feels like blue whale's far ass is landing on or landing on me. Dude, that doesn't sound good, Gavin. I would get that checked out. But yeah, go get some sleep. This stream will be up in a VOD, so if you're afraid about missing anything, don't worry. I got you. Alright, I'm going to turn on sauce selection. I'm going to pull this out a little more. Alright. Pull this out more so we're not clipping into the body at all. There we go. That's pretty good. And we're going to slide some edges now. Turning off soft selection. We do not want that selected. So slide edge. I'm going to bring that over here. Select these 3 again. Do the same thing. And this way it's just more even, because the more even your meshes are, the better things are going to look. Canadian bacon. It's just normal bacon here plus ketchup. God damn it, yo. Alright. Canadian bacon with ketchup is now a sandwich. Here's what I always say, Gavin. You can't sleep, down a bottle of NyQuil. Please don't do that. That's bad. I gotta remember that people may actually listen to my stupidity. Alright, slide in the edge again. And that's pretty good. Alright, let's see here. Let's move this the cape out. Yeah! Look at that. He's got a nice cape. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save. Because saving's important. I'm not saving nearly enough, honestly. I should do way more than I am. I've only saved 7 times during this stream, and... Alright. Let us carry on then. Alright, so we got the cape down, but it's only a polygon. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to try to straighten... Oh, excuse me. Ow. I'm going to try to straighten this curve out a bit. Just make it more cylindrical. Curves are everything. Make everything flow and have a nice curve to it, and you will be a happy, happy modeler. Alright, that's pretty good. And here's all we're gonna do. We want this to have 2 sides. Now, I could turn on doubles, so we can just have the inside also be drawn and shown, but I don't want to do that. I want to have a little more depth in my cape, because if you look at his image here, he does have a lip on his thing. And who knows, maybe I want to paint the textures inside a little bit different. So, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna go to face mode, I'm gonna double click so I select every face that exists on this model. And all I'm going to do now is hit the extract button. This is going to take every face and go, okay, we want to make all of these extrude out a little bit more. And I'm just going to use the movement tool they give us and drag us out in the Z, or the blue one, just ever so slightly. So this way it creates a nice lip around for the cowl and the cape, and it gives it shape. And there you go. That's good. Look at that. And I'm not going to soften the edges here, because that hard trim is actually pretty good. It adds a little bit of shape to this. For the sake of my own sanity, because I wanted to see where we are so far, I'm going to mirror my mesh. And before I do that, I'm going to save, because mirroring sometimes kills the file, if you're very unfortunate. So, save again. And we're going to go to Mesh, Mirror. And click it. It's going to bring up this box, and you're going to have to choose the axis in which you want to mirror things. So we're trying to mirror it in the same axis it's already faced, so we're going to switch to positive. Does that do it? Nope, that is not what we want. That does not look like a good lizard boy. So we're going to want to switch it to the z-axis, I believe, and switch to negative. Yep, there we go. There's our boy. So there's also this merge threshold. This is going to be the threshold in which it merges the verts together that are local and nearby. You can see if I up this a lot, you can see that it starts like smashing some of the verts in the eyes a little bit over here. That's not what we want, especially if I up this to like 10. That you should be able to see that. Oh, that didn't do much. Anyway, you generally want it on 0.1. That's going to be the safest one. That's about how far verts will actually go. And there's a little lizard boy. You can see it. Did these not connect? No, those did. They're just hard and edged. Okay. So I'm just going to select my body again and just soften edge. Cool. I'm going to take the eye. I'm going to mirror the eye. Just going in the negative of Z. And boom. There we go. We have a lizard right now. We'll have to work on his eyelids a little more. That's going to be the biggest thing to make this look good. Why is my lizard boy inappropriate? Wholesome stream chat. Dude, I try to be wholesome. It's honestly really tight, but I don't want to miss streams. Don't worry about it, man. There's always the vibes you can catch up on. Oh, little man's half is back. You got it, Mark. He's back again. And now we got him a nice looking cloak. Honestly, the cloak is still a little short, so I'm gonna go select the faces. Oh, I actually can't do that now because if I select the edge loop here, it's gonna go up the cape, and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna select verts, go to side view just to make things perfect and simple, and I'm gonna flatten those out. I'm gonna do the same thing for this one to make sure, actually for all of them, just to make sure all the vertexes are perfectly lined up. And I need to select these verts now. I'm going to drag them down, but I'm going to rotate them up because you can see the cape opens up forward a little bit. That's a little too low. So this way he's got a nice little opening, and our little lizard boy's got a good shape. Looking at this image more, has some pretty decent gap in between his legs for his crotch, so I'm going to need to select my lizard boy again. I want to go to vertex, and I'm going to select these, and I'm going to really increase the weight here, and I'm going to switch on to object Z, and we're going to try to pull these out a bit more, so he's got a nice grundle going. Maybe select that top one as well. I don't want to make my lizard boy too fat. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select these side ones, I'm going to pull these out. I'm also going to hit this with another edge loop, because that's a pretty big gap, honestly, in between those polys. That pushed it in, so I'm just going to not shift click and then move it myself. I'm going to turn off soft selection here, and I'm going to bring that out, pull it to the side so things look a little better, and now he's got little lizard love handles. Pull that out, and I'm gonna select these, increase. I'm gonna pull these in. Little push and pull, trying to make this look better. Alright, there's that. Alright, we'll worry about the legs a little more in a bit, in terms of their shaping. But now I want to make the boots. As you can imagine, the boots are probably done in a very similar way, and they are. So we're going to go create polygon primitives cylinder. I'm going to shrink this down to about what we want the boot's height to be. Now we want him to stand on the floor, so frankly my lizard boy is a little high, but that's because my reference is a little high. So I'm going to grab him and the reference, hopefully, and I'm going to go to the side view. And I'm going to push him down so his feet are on the floor here. That should have been done very early in the process, honestly. So I'm going to switch back. I'm going to bring my cylinder up so I have a little room for his little booty boot. Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to first off, select all the faces, and I'm going to deselect the center ones. It's going to take the top and the bottom selected. I'm going to delete those, because just like the cape, we're going to edit them in a bit. So I'm going to select the vertexes now of the bottom. I'm going to taper that down, not in symmetry mode, so it doesn't do weird things like that. And now it should taper correctly. There we go. I'm going to push that leg to match up with the foot, lift it up, so it's about even, bring it in more. Select these vertexes. These boots are not that big and also not that tall. So let's see here. His boots actually go down to here, it looks like, in the thing. And his boots have a little lean inward, so I'm going to rotate these like this. So when we get in there, they have a nice little curve like that. And you can see them dipping in a little bit for that curvature shape, so we know we're correct there. Push that like that. And now we're going to make this little booty boot. I'm actually going to, I'm going to shrink the inner part more, even more so. And that time I'm only going to bring it in on the x-axis and maybe a little more here. Just so it creates the size of the shoe a little better. I'm going to push that in so it's more conforming to his thighs, even though we are going to have a gap. Yeah, dude, my lizard's got a thigh gap. I'm gonna bring that down just a little bit, because it looks like it's gonna have a little bit of connection errors, and that doesn't have to be perfect to the reference, just close. What's next? Let's see here. How do we want to make the boot? Honestly, what are we at right now? We're only at 4,000 tries. This is a low poly lizard boy, let me tell you, man. I have a lot of room to work with. So let's make the heel. I'm going to try to do it straight from the cylinder. Normally I would try to make it with a box, but I want to try to make this as simple as possible for a lot of you guys, so I don't have to go into details of like a lot of different things. Notice we haven't used a single box today. That's a little bizarre. Usually you want to use boxes a lot. I'm going to expand this so we get a little bit of curve of the foot. Now we're going to try to make the heel here. I'm actually going to decrease that rotation just a little bit because we're going to do it again. I'm going to extrude again. Pull down. Expand. And this is going to create a nice cap for the foot. Now let's see here. I'm going to extrude once more. And this one I'm going to pull directly out like this. I'm going to unrotate these. I'm going to try to keep that as 90 as possible. Just to ensure that, I'm going to select the verts instead. And I'm going to smash them flat. I'm also going to very clearly shrink these down. So we got a nice little booty boy. And we'll fix this transition a little more. So More, are you going to model the mouth and tongue? Yes, I am. We're going to give this guy everything that you see here. He's going to have his little staff. His mouth's going to be open so he can spit it out. I haven't gotten into the mouth yet because that's going to require me to go into a lot of topology of the face here, which is a bit extreme, and I want to get into the basics for this first one. That may be in a part 2, or I may finish it tonight. I don't know. We'll see where we get. We can work on his boot a little better here, but I wanted to taper in a little bit, and we're going to extrude one more. Whoa! Whatever I just hit, don't do that one. That was bad. Oh, it's doing it again. Oh, it's because I'm on vertex. I'm a goob. Okay. Select your edges. Never try to extrude a vert. And we're going to pull these out. Apparently I didn't select that one. So I'm going to undo that. And now I'm going to select everyone. I'm going to pull them out. And we're going to make this the cap off. Pull it out a little more. And now we're going to bridge. So this is a tool I haven't talked about before, but if you want to make a connection between this edge and this edge, that's very simple. All you have to do is go up here and hit the bridge tool. And that will create one little gap. Or you can go to Edit Mesh, Bridge. Same thing. So I'm going to do that. It's pretty smart about doing it for multiple things as long as there's even sides for it. So I'm going to do it to these ones. I'm going to hit bridge. Oh, okay. Didn't want to work for those other ones, but that's okay. We'll just do it again. Bridge. Bridge. We actually have one more bridge. I missed. Bridge. Doesn't like to do multiple ones. You're making me look dumb, Maya. Come on, I'm trying. And here we go. This is our first triangle. Do I want this? Yeah, because that's going to make a whole other edge loop of the boot. Okay, one triangle's not going to kill us. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to select all the edges. And we're going to go to Mesh, Fill Hole. That's just going to put a polygon there and fill whatever's there. A triangle's not bad, but trying to avoid them as much as possible is generally a good idea. So we're going to do the same thing, Fill Hole. There we go. Look it, we have a base booty. And we're going to make this booty even better. By going to Mesh Display, Soften Edge. And now you can see that that looks way better. We're going to have to define his heel a little more, but that's fine. So first and foremost, I'm going to add some edge loops down the main part of the foot. Oh, not with that button. I'm going to flatten those out again because keeping your edge loops flat is generally pretty good practice, so you can start doing some interesting things. Mesh Tools, it's an edge loop. Don't hold shift like I'm doing. And flat. Not bad. Alright. Okay, here's how I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna take that edge loop and delete that fully. I'm going to select the edges here and lift them up. I'm also gonna move these ones up just a little bit and pull them more so they make the heel. I'm gonna select the edges all the way over to here, and I'm going to extrude those out, but I'm gonna make them flat. And I'm gonna make that perfectly flat on the x-axis, or sorry, the y-axis. Or no, I don't know. I'm not a math major. I'm an artist. So we can create his heel here. To ensure that everything works good, I'm going to delete these. Oop. So we have easy connection, and I'll worry about connecting those back in a second. And now I'm going to do my best. This may take a little time to make it work good, but I'm gonna go to Mesh Tools, Target Weld, and come on. Why are you not working? Why can't I fucking target weld? Hey, do what I say. What the fuck's happening? Okay, what? Alright, I'm gonna delete history and save. Maya sometimes just doesn't like to work. Oh yeah, there's many ways to do things, Demon Wolfjack. Or sorry, not, Walking Dolphin. There's a lot of things you can do. And it doesn't matter how you do it, it's just that you get to do it. So, hopefully deleting history makes Maya want to work with me for a sec, because I would love its cooperation. There we go. And we'll just connect these. And you can see now we've hit our first little issue of how do we connect that. But that's okay. Nope, wrong one. Alright, that's okay. I'm going to switch to side view. I'm going to delete every face that is not above that line that we have there. Let's see here. And this should allow me, if I did this right, which I think I made a mistake, but it's okay, we'll work with it. And target weld that there. And I guess I can do the edge there. I don't see too much of a difference. And I'm going to select the vertexes for these. Oh, okay, interesting. How do we handle this? I think the answer is we may have to just redo it in a bit. But if I just delete these, I'll refix that in a second. And I'm going to select the verts from here to here. Nope, that did it around. That makes sense. I'm going to flatten them. And I'm going to flatten that perfectly with the axis. Roughly. Select all of them, make sure they're perfectly flat. And we're going to swap over. Perfect. Okay, that's looking good. Now we got a nice heel. Mesh display, smooth display. Or soft edge, rather. Yeah, I think this is okay. And now we can start bridging the other way. This may actually look better in the long run. Okay, so I'm gonna have to insert an edge loop here. But the good news, guys, is look at this. With how fantastic I've done this, we don't have any triangles anymore. We only have we can bridge a quad there. We can bridge a quad there. Boom. Who needs triangles? There's always better ways to do things. And now that I've done all this, I can select these edges. I can actually pull these out a little bit to create a little more definition in the shoe. Maybe, hold on. Soft selection. That's the easiest way to do this. We'll select all of that and we'll push it back a bit. Oh, sorry, not these. And there. Okay, maybe I have to work a little bit more on these. Vertex here. Lower the sensitivity, and I'm just gonna rotate that so it curves out a little more. That's better. And now when I go back to the side view, I can turn on soft selection and grab these ones and then flatten them again. There we go. Now we have a nice curve to the shoe. That, when we smooth, should look good. Yeah. Honestly, that's a lot of polygons there. I may try to find a better way to do that at some point, but this is what I've gotten so far. But hey, you guys learned something about how to make shoes and heels. It's all a process. You just got to figure out what's the best way. Best way to approach something. How much would it cost for you to help me with something? It really depends on Ender. I usually do commissions, but my schedule's pretty busy, and I was just doing this out of a thing, so it just really depends. Just let me know what you need. You don't model with triangles. It's so bad. Don't try. Wait, Morra. Wondering for later, will this wizard lizard have fingers or just stump hands? He has actually some pretty sick claws if we go to the reference art over here. If I select object mode. Hold on. Warning. Select an object that allows topology modification. Am I not in selection? That's why. Okay. So if we go over here, you can see he's got some pretty sick claws. So we will be making a hand. And honestly, that's probably what I'm going to do after I finish this boot, is show you how to start the hand. I Frankenstein my models, never made them from scratch. Hey man, Frankenstein in itself is an art form, making that work good. But now you can make your own clothes if you want. Hopefully I'm teaching you some basics to figure it out. Same thing's true for shirts, to how to do these and whatnot. But yeah, look at that boot. That boot's hella. So instead of doing this thing where I selected all the faces and extruded it out again, that's going to create a lot of unnecessary geometry down in the boot, because the boot's going to be closed off after I bridge that off. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to select this edge loop here at the top of the boot. I'm going to extrude it. I'm going to lift it up a little bit, barely bring it in. I'm going to extrude again. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to extrude it in, but this time I'm going to drop it in a little bit, just barely. Extrude one more time, shrink it in, and we're going to drop this one all the way down just to make the bottom of the boot. I'm going to flatten these out, and I'm going to scale these in on the center axis so we don't see any of it. So this way it looks like there's an inside of the boot, when in reality there's actually not, and we will never see it otherwise. But just to ensure this, I'm going to put this in the geometry for the feet, and I'm going to bring that in very small, so this way there's a nice little tapering on the inside of the to the legs. And there you go. Do you have a community Discord, Morra? I don't actually. I haven't considered that yet, because I don't think I have a big enough following to warrant that. But I guess I wouldn't mind doing that for modeling stuff and whatnot. Well, I love the stream, but I gotta go. Alright, man. Have a good one, Zarb. Thank you for stealing it in for as long as you did. Peace. Alright, and we're gonna smooth the display again. Just always making these things look smooth. And now we begin the brizzing process, which this one's a little interesting. Whoa, where did we get a triangle? Boo! Something bad happened. Huh. Okay, what happened here? Alright, instead of trying to fix this, here's what I'm going to do. Sometimes the easiest thing is just to mirror. So I'm going to take everything I've made here, I'm going to select it down the center, and I'm going to delete it. And that should delete the boot perfectly in half. Yeah, and we're going to mirror this. Mesh mirror. On the Z-axis. And we're gonna offset it so it's actually connected right. Merge border, I'm gonna set to 0.1 so I can actually get a good boot going. Offset's gonna need to be even less than that, so let's try 0.05. Nope, wrong way. Okay, so 3 maybe? No. 0.3. Too much. 0.15. 0.2. 0.25. Too much. 0.22. That's a little thicker than we were at, so how about 0.21? Nope, more than that, so 0.23. This is modeling. I'm gonna switch the merge threshold even less to 0.05. Ah, too much. Okay. Well, now we can get the offset perfect. So how about 0.24? Yeah, man. Look at that. Boot fixed. Now I don't have to worry about what weird things happen in my geometry. Now all I gotta do is take the verts to everything that's over on this side and rotate them down. And then, boom. It's like nothing ever happened. Morra, is big love, or is big enough to love you. I love you too, man. Mwah. Boot too big. Alright, we're gonna saw off an edge again. Cool. And now we're going to start bridging. Now, if I do this right, this should work perfectly, and I saved a lot of time by clicking a lot of things. Cool. I need to mesh display, or not display, sorry, mesh tools, insert edge loop. Now this is cool, because on the top there we were going to have a triangle, but we also didn't have enough information to bridge this, so I needed to add this edge loop down here. So now when I go and select this edge loop, and this edge loop, and I bridge it, I'm going to need a nice connection there. Same thing for this one. And the cool part is now I don't have to make a another triangle over here at the tip, because now this is going to have 4 sides of 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, and 4 point. So all I have to do is select this one and bridge, and it'll connect across. Boom. Easy. Now let's see, does his boot have any more information, or is it pretty simple? It's pretty simple, but you know what? I'm a good modeler. And I'm going to make sure my shoes have all the information they need. So all shoes have a little padding at the bottom. So I'm going to insert an edge loop here at the bottom. I'm going to take those, flatten it out perfectly. It's pretty close. And I'm going to select these faces in the circle around here, and I'm going to extrude. And I'm going to pull it out so we have a little... Oh, sorry, not move, translate, but scale. And now we're going to have a little lip around these shoes. And if you want to get a little more fancy, you can dip this in a little bit, switch to the side view, and line it up perfectly with the bottom one, because there's always a little bit of a dip in that shoe form. And look at that, now his shoes got little paddings. This lizard is ready to go on an adventure. I'm going to select these edges, and I'm going to go to Mesh Display, Soften Edge, to make sure those are soft around the trim. Look at that. What a good fucking boot! Look at us, guys. I'm going to insert more edge loops up the center here. Apparently manually, because that didn't want to work. Just subtly, so it's not just a straight vertical line. There we go. Just a subtle curve, but those C curves and stuff like that work very well. And we may have to edit the shoe a little bit when we're adjusting for the knees, but you know what? It's pretty good so far. I'm gonna mirror his shoe. First, I'm gonna save. Dude, Demon Wolf Jack, you understand. Alright. Let's mirror the boot. Mesh, mirror. In the Z-axis. Boom. Boot done. Guys, look at this. We've already got a fucking lizard wizard. He's so close. So, let's move into the arms, because I kind of just left those off. Because his nubs are not cool. We're gonna give him some cool hands. How hard is it to model? Not terribly hard. If you watch, I don't know how long you've been here, Hero of Time, but if, excuse me. If you watch the VOD from the beginning, I started this guy from just a circle, and I can show you step by step how we made this guy, and the same practices that could be applied to any model that you would like to do later on. So let's move on to elbows. Elbows are interesting. Same thing with shoulders, actually. These are both going to apply. I'm going to hide his clothes for now and just select his body. Now, in order to deform right, I'm just going to select these faces so I can show you. We need things to deform properly. And deformation is up to your rigger, but you as a modeler still have to consider these things. So if we want to rotate his arm, and I'm going to move just the pivot over this thing. If we want to rotate his arm, we got to make sure he can turn his hand good. And I'm moving the entire shoulder here. There's going to be way better for a rigger. But you can see we're going to have a little bit of pulling up at the armpit and stuff like that. Even if I deselect this concentric circle and start, up there, and if we rotate, even then it's still not perfect. So you need concentric circles and a lot more edge loops where the deformations are going to happen. So I'm going to take these edges here, and I'm going to slide their edge. Actually, I'm going to leave this bottom one unselected, because it'll auto move with me when I move the things, and I don't want to move the point where the armpit's connected. So I'm going to use slide edge. I'm going to slide it up a little bit here. Same thing with these top ones, honestly. I'm going to try to square these out a little more. And I'm going to insert one more mesh or edge loop around this mesh so it can deform. Come on. Alright, you did it, but not the way I wanted. Hold on. Mesh tools, insert edge loop, and now if we shift hold, it'll create a little thing. There we go. Now we have more edges, more little things to deform with. I'm also going to put an edge loop around here through the body. I don't know if that's going to do too much for the rigger, but you know what? Better safe than sorry, right? And we have so much polygons to play with. We're at 6.1k, right? Or sorry, yeah, 6.1k right now for the try count. So we're not even near the, hey, you should probably lower this a bit limit. So let's save my boy out. I was just starting to model recently, but after the Windows update, my computer won't even start anymore. RIP. Well, fucking damn, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Hi, I speak Spanish, but I know some English. Hey, I speak English, but I know very little Spanish. Me llamo Juan. ¿Y tú? ¿Dónde está Las Wizard Lizard? And let me tell you, he's right here. And we're gonna make him looking good. Welcome to the stream, El Presimudo, or Presimido. I'm modeling a model from scratch, and I hope you can learn something. So yeah, let's go back to the body here. I just needed to turn his clothes off there to get to his shoulders a bit. So now we're going to do the same thing for the elbow. The elbow is a very pivotal point to have deformation. So we need to make a little elbow for him. Now, I recommend... ooh, see, this one's a little harder to do. I can't just shrink these down flat anymore, because it does that. So that's okay. I'm just going to rescale things out and rotate. There we go. A little extra step, but not bad. And, oop, okay. A little wider out here than I expected. Why is... I'm going to turn this pivot point by holding D. There we go. And I'm going to mesh tools, insert edge loop. I'm going to create a couple more of these, not holding shift. You need at least 3 or 4 edge loops for things to deformate correctly. So we're gonna add 4 there for the elbow. I'm gonna add 1 here to separate, just to add a separation between the arms here. What the fuck is this song, man? Why are we breathing? Okay, I'm gonna undo a lot of what I did here, because this one's being a little more technical difficult, and I'm just gonna insert a basic loop there for now that I will edit in a bit. Now we're gonna make his elbow. Oh, I have one. Hey, Vanilla Senpai, welcome to the stream. Thanks, you very sexy cop. I finally fixed my texture problem because of a few tips you gave. I'm so happy to hear that, Vanilla. I'm glad my last stream could have done something for you. Morra, was this program from Autodesk free or did you pay for it? So you can buy this program, and if you ever want to do anything like where you're selling it, I highly recommend that you you buy it. But you can download a student version for free. It's to help learn, and you can learn to model, mess around, and I highly recommend it because I love Maya for modeling. And this allows you to you can use any of the things you make in that for VR chat. That's completely fine, which is the main purpose of this, is to show you how to make models for VR chat. And I'm going to pop this out a little bit, just a little bump. That's actually a little too much. I'm going to rotate that a bit in. I'm going to pull it back. Just a very slight bump to show indication of the elbow. There we go. Can you speak to me in Spanish, porfis? I don't know Spanish that well, I'm honest. I grew up in California and I knew a little bit, that's all I got. No, I'm sorry. Alright, and now we're gonna get to the hand. So the first things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete these 6 quads. We don't need them. And let's see, how does his wrist look? Very skinny wrist, and it comes out into a very beefy hand. Sweet. Okay, that's what I like. Very stylistic and good choices. So I'm going to select all these vertexes again. I'm going to... Oh, I got the tails ones in the back. I don't want that. I'm going to flatten them out like this, and then I'm going to rotate them again. I'm going to shrink them in on the x-axis so they're even smaller. That's a dainty little wrist he's going to have. But that is what we want. So I'm going to now connect something to this rather than try to extrude out like we've done in the past. So I'm going to start off by making a box. So this is the first box we've created in the stream, which I'm surprised about. I usually use everything with a key. Hey, that's Chinichijuro. What do we got here? Let's see. We got... Oh my god! Okay, 4079 from F-Tank. It's amazing seeing an artist at work. I'm a game programmer myself. Keep up the good work, and I hope someday to meet you in game. Please don't kill me, though. Don't worry. Thank you, man. I'm a cop. I'm here to protect you. I would never kill you, unless you know you try to kill me. That's the only thing. So glad to see that there's other devs out there working. VR chat is a fantastic place to test what you know. Once Playmaker comes out and you can start coding, oh my god, this game's gonna get so much cooler. So thank you so much. That's an insane amount, F-Tank. I really hope I can teach you a little bit more. I know a lot of programmers don't know much about modeling, but I want to show you how you can make at least some decent basic models, so you don't have the stereotypical programmer art out there for you. But alas, my class starts soon, so have fun. Alright, Arctic Wolf, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good one, man. Alright, so let's get my box going. Before I rotate it on the side, like we're going to connect the hand, I'm going to model everything flat so I don't have to worry about changing the pivot, which is this thing. Alright, so first thing we're going to make is the palm of the hand. Hand anatomy is interesting, to say the least. Let's actually bring up actual hand anatomy. Hand topology. So we're going to show you how things are done here. Hands can vary extremely in terms of the complexity. They can be hyper-realistic human hands that have polygons and concentric circles for the knuckles, or they can be very tubey and cartoony like we see here. We are doing a stylized model, so I'm probably going to lean more towards the cartoony rather than realistic. I don't feel like our guy needs knuckles or fingernails. So let's look at this hand. Now we can see here that the hand is made out of two things. So if you do a hand anatomy, the hand for the palm specifically is made out of. I'm just gonna use this because it's a decent hand. There's three major shapes to the palm of the hand. There's the big mound created by the thumb. There's the upper mound that connects your these three knuckles up here where they connect. And then there's the side mount here that's specifically for the pinky. There's a lot of muscles in there that we're going to do, but trying to get those shapes are going to be very important to making the hand look good and natural. The fingers themselves, fingers are easy, so we won't worry too much about that. I'll show you why they're easy with some time. But in the meantime, I'm going to take these off, and I'm going to pop this back over here. Alright, let's see here. So we're going to start off with a very simple box. And that's always a good place to start for these things. But let's count, first and foremost, how many edges do we have on our hand here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Okay, that's pretty decent. So we're going to need 10 places for this box to connect to this hand. So let's start doing that. We already have 1, 2, 3, 4, so let's create 6 more. We're going to create an edge loop on the 2/3 marks here, roughly. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then one more down the middle should do it. Actually, hold on. I need to do one on the sides first and foremost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. That's what we need to do. And just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, I did count wrong. I fucking knew it. Alright, I'm going to select this edge loop, drag it to the side, and I'm going to insert another edge loop. Oh, that should there. This is going to create 12, though. How do I deal? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that is 10. God, wow, I'm bad at math. See, this is why I'm an artist and not a mathematician. So first and foremost, we're going to select these sides. We're going to try to create the shape of the palm. We're going to select those down, go to the scale tool, and we're going to shrink them in. And we're going to drag them down. So this is going to create the muscle mass at the... I think, Morra, your YouTube career is dead. You've lost 10 views since I've eaten dinner. What happened? Hey man, people peter out. We're learning hands, and everyone hates hands. They get afraid, and they have to leave. Welcome back, CXC. We're trying to teach them hands now. So now that we have enough geometry for the connection, I'm going to add a couple more in the main parts of the hand, so we can start separating things out. So thumbs will always point in when you're doing a model, because that's how anatomy works. So I'm going to create a sectioned off part, so where we're going to extrude the thumb from. So I'm going to insert edge loop here, roughly. That should be, actually, hold on. I'm going to insert an edge loop here to show the wrist tapering. And here's where I'm going to create the thumb. I'm going to extrude the thumb out of these two squares later down. And I'm going to create, how many should I do more? That's the thumb. We have to do one for the base, the knuckles in there. So maybe 2 more. One there, and one there. That should be decent enough. So let's start plotting out the fingers. I'm going to just take these two thingamaboobs, and I'm going to extrude them. And I'm going to show you how, this is going to look very blocky for a while, but I'm going to show you how we can make this looking real nice in a bit. I'm going to rotate that, bring that to the side, and we're going to extrude again. Always pay heed to how many joints your fingers have. Every finger except for the thumb will have 3 joints, and the thumb has 2. Make sure you really emphasize that, because that's what's going to make things look nice. I'm going to shrink that in. Curve that a bit more. Cool. This hand's really big, but you know what? We'll play with the sizes in a bit. And now, the biggest question of all. This is a stylized model. How many fingers does he have? Does he have 4 or 3 for there? He has 4 fingers. He's an actual human being. This creates a little bit of an interesting dilemma for me then. Because I've already made enough edge loops in the areas. So how do I do this? Well, I'm going to tell you, we're going to make our very first triangle. Because that's going to be the best way to do this. I'm going to insert edge loop down the middle, but we're going to have to delete a lot of this. So insert edge loop down the center. I'm gonna make sure I delete every edge that's up to here. And now when I control delete that, oh no, we've made an n-gon. That's not good. Remember, an n-gon is a side that has more than 4 sides, but we have 5 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these 2 verts, and I'm going to select this one. I'm going to go to edit mesh and merge to center. So we've created, actually that's maybe not good. Maybe there's a better way to do this. Hold on, I gotta think. I'm gonna delete these edge loop I just did. What's the best way to do this? I had to check my hand just to confirm the joints. That's good. Always look at your, does it even have thumbs? Yes, it does. He has to be able to hold that staff. And how dare you call it an it? He is a beautiful lizard boy. And even if he doesn't, I'm giving him thumbs. He needs to be able to hold that staff. Adam is here at Rain Ruby. Oh, Ruby's here. What's up, Rain Ruby? How you doing? Fuck you, I'm the best cop, Rain. Alright. You know what we're gonna do? Okay, so your thumb disconnects a little bit off your wrist. So I'm going to just insert an edge loop here on the center. And I'm going to modify this so it's hanging off a little bit off the wrist. So I'm going to explain that better, I'm going to delete these, and I should still have 8 sides of, or edges to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Or I said 8, I meant 10. So we can still connect that to the wrist good. And this gives me now enough geometry to play with for the fingers. So I'm going to select these edges, I'm going to space these out by using the slide edge tool. And we will make sure that the anatomy for these is as even as possible. I'm going to just slide this a bit, try to make this as clean as possible. It's okay if things aren't perfect. We can edit the geometry, and we will heavily. This is a very boxy hand right now. So now we're going to do this individually. I'm going to take these 2 faces, I'm going to extrude. I'm going to drag them out. I'm going to shrink them a bit. I'm going to do the same thing here. One more time. And you know what? I lied. We're going to do it again. And then we shrink. Boom. Look at that. We got a hand. That was way easier than you were expecting. But now we're going to make this look like his hand. And that's the hard part. Getting the basics for the geometry is simple enough. And now I'm going to show you how to make these hands work better, deform better, and all that jazz. Is it possible to make clothes from a model that's already made using this method? Yeah, you can edit clothes significantly. I don't think see thumbs boil. You know what? Fuck you, ZXE. He needs to hold the. He needs to hold the staff. All right. So let's fucking. What do we want to do here? First things first. I'm gonna edit, add an edge loop around here. I'm gonna tuck that very close to the knuckles, and hopefully I can select an edge loop here. I'm gonna shrink these in to create a little webbed gap Not just because he's a lizard, but because fingers actually do this. Shrink that in. Readjust, move in to make the little separation of the fingers more. Insert edge loop. Do it again. Adjust. Shrink again, and adjust this time to this side. There we go. Now you got the little gaps that your fingers have, and we're going to start modeling this towards making this look like an actual hand. So let's start with the thumb. I'm going to grab these edges, I'm going to pull these out. Oop, drag these way too high, it seems. Select that, bring that in, and we're going to need to bring this out a little more so we can show the connection. The connection to the hand is going to be pretty cylindrical because the hand is cylindrical, and I'm going to adjust this accordingly. I'm going to turn on soft selection for that one, increase it a little bit so it pulls the anatomy a little more correctly. Bring that one up. Alright, and let's shrink this hand down. Needs to be more appropriately sized. There we go. He's wrapping his hand around the staff, you goober. He doesn't need thumbs for that. I'm giving him thumbs, ZXC! Don't you worry about it. And I know how to do the fucking cuts for thumbs. Or for the joints. I got you. But now I'm going to actually transition to this and connect this to the hand so I can perfectly form this and make this his hand. Slide this to the side. Alright. We're going to do mesh combine again, making them all one object. And now I'm going to select this. I'm going to zoom in by hitting F on a selected object so I can tumble around. And now I'm going to go to mesh tools, target weld, edge. I think edge is better than for than vertex. And I'm going to slide the hands to connect accordingly. And then this one's going to have to be vertex, it's the last one. Perfect. Look at that. Alright. Now it's got a hand. And we're going to make this smooth and clean now. I'm going to edit, delete my history, and save. Oh, what's he doing? Yeah, hey, I'm making models from scratch. I'm showing people how to do this. And anyone who wants to model, try to bring something to VR chat. I'm specifically doing this one for VR chat, but this is just a modeling lesson in general. Hey man, vanilla, I truly believe modeling is easy. And with a little practice, you too can get to this level. It's just a matter of practice. I've been doing this for 6 years now, so I definitely have a little more experience. But you know what? Experience goes a long way. And I truly believe you can get here too. Okay. So let's make the palm of the hand. The palm of the hand is not flat like that. We talked about how the thumb has a padding here. We have the upper padding for these squares, and then we have this padding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this edge, this edge, this edge, and I'm going to soft select just ever so slightly. I'm going to bring that up a little bit to make the little indent that the palm has. I'm actually going to lift this one up, back up. So we have the little palm indentation. I'm gonna turn on another edge loop here because we need more geometry in the thumb. I'm not gonna hold shift like I did there because that made it look weird. But here we go. So you can all look at your own hands for this, just trying to spread them out in a similar manner so you can see how we are going to edit the geometry here. I can't stress enough that you are your best reference that you have for modeling. Always look at yourself, take photos of yourself. To really test your anatomy. It's the best way. It's the best way to learn the human figure is studying yourself. I learned how to draw mostly by doing self-portraits of myself, and while that may sound conceited, it's you know yourself better than you know anyone else, and you know when things look wrong, so it's better to do that. Yeah, no, VR chat's completely free. Red Foxy Gamer, just gotta make a Steam account by going to their website, and you can download the game. It's really fantastic and full of great people. Alright, I'm gonna select the edges all the way to the edge of this finger, and I'm gonna bring these out a little bit just to round that figure out a bit. I'm gonna grab these edges, and I'm gonna bring them in. There we go. And now we have a nice curve. Down to really sell you on this, I'm going to soften display here for the first time. And you can see how the curvature of the hand's starting to look way more like a palm. The fingers are still tube-ish, but we're going to get there. So I'm going to add more geometry into this hand. Mesh tools, insert edge loop. Not gonna hold shift there again, because God, this doesn't want to work with me today. More edge loops. Edge loops are, oop, that was the wrong tool. Edge loops are fantastic. They help you so much with so many things. I can't encourage them enough, but just make sure you keep yourself in poly count. We are still only at 6.5k tries, which is fantastic with a 20k poly limit. Probably not going to do that. I don't like how that works, but I will edit the thumb a little bit to make that curve a little bit better. First and foremost, I'm going to drag these out to make the thumb more circular, maybe? Rotate that a bit. Yeah, just make the thumb look a little fatter. It's not good anatomy yet, but it's a good start. We'll jump to the other fingers right now for the meantime. We got the mound of this looking good. I'm going to increase it even more so by lifting this up just a little bit to increase that thumb mound the best we can. I'm going to drag this out a bit more, so... Oh wait, no, that's not a triangle. Okay, I'm going to rotate that. Vertex, edit that, just make this smoother. There we go. Getting there. Edge loops are a gift from God. You're damn right they are, Sandario. Not that matters, but the description hasn't been updated yet. Oh shit, you're right. I'm sorry, I said I was doing textures on that shit. Fucking, that's way too late, but you know what? How did I forget that? Art stream. I'm going to be making a lizard wizard. He's cute. From start to finish, I'm going through the whole process so you too can bring your own creation into VR chat. There we go. Oh, is Bokaj here? Hey, what's up, man? I didn't realize that was you who warned me. How you doing it? Alrighty. Yeah, the thumb's a little fat right now. I'm going to select these edge loops and I'm going to shrink them down. There we go, that's more better. So the thumb needs the edge loops that we were talking about to allow for deformation. So make sure you have at least 3, sometimes 4, so the thumb can really just bend there and have good transitions. I may move those a little bit more to spread them out and rotate them a bit, but for now that's fine. Let's move on to the main hand here. I did this right. The middle finger is your longest finger, while the pointer and the ring are the same length, and the pinky is the last. Now these are generalizations, not all fingers are this length, but that is the basics that we're going to do. He also no longer, or doesn't have rounded fingers. His fingers are very sharp and pointy because he's got little claws. So to add that little effect, what am I doing? There we go. I'm going to I'm going to make his fingers a lot longer than they actually are. To add that very reptilian and almost creature-like look to them. And we're going to taper these down significantly. There we go. I'm going to delete these two faces on all the fingers so we can start editing them and making them more pointy. But first and foremost is the knuckle. The knuckle's pretty well formed already up here on the fingers. I don't have too much geometry to mess with them, and I don't think they're really needed. So we're just going to move on to the next joint, which is going to be roughly here. So we're going to add an edge loop there. Another. And another. Do the same thing for each finger, allowing for the length difference to be taken into consideration. So I'm going to start here. There. There. These ones should be the same as the first finger. Roughly. And this one should be even a little less. I'm going to add geometry down the center here. How bad does that go? That goes... Hold on. Before I do that, I need to see how much geometry that's affecting, because that could potentially add a lot of polygons. That's going to go all the way to the eye. Alright, let's see how bad that affects it. I'm going to save real quick. Fix exam tomorrow. Good luck, Morra. All right, thank you for coming, Bocash. I hope you do good in your exams, because I know you've been talking about them and they're hard as shit. I don't envy you. Yeah, we made this boy from just a sphere. That's all we got, and I've extruded everything out. It all started with his hips. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, we were checking how much information was being added. So we're at 6,700 verts right now, or triangles. So I'm going to insert my edge loop, and let's see how much that adds more. Not much, actually. That's not too bad. That adds just 80 polygons. Okay, that's really worth it. That's worth it to get this information. So I'm going to do that for each finger. I'm actually going to do that and make sure I hit shift on this one. There we go. Only went up 200 polygons. And the lower fingers, actually they may need that too. Hey man, hands are the most important part of VR, so make sure they look good. That's all I can say. I'll spread out the edge loops in the legs, because they went all the way up the arm and down the legs for that. Morra, why do you have anime girl as your profile pic? Because I'm a fucking cutie cop. That's who I am. Yeah, I made Morra. It's my girl that I play in VR chat. I don't know if I have any photos of them, actually. How do I not have photos of me? I mean, if you still look at any of my YouTube thumbnails, those are who that's who I play. Because I play that cutie top. Alright, so now we're going to do the middle joint for these fingers, which is going to be, actually, hold up. I think I made these edge loops a little too close to the base, so I'm going to select every single one I did on each finger, and we're going to drag them forward a little bit with the slide edge tool. Alright, mesh tools, slide edge. Oh, what the fuck? Oh. Okay, I'm not using slide edge. I'm just gonna use my translate tool and manually do that. Alright. And now we gotta add a second joint that's going to be right before the tip. So I always think it's best to start off on the middle finger. I know I started on the index the first time I did that, but starting off on the middle finger is going to show you where your maximums are, and that's always a good thing to start off with. So I want to make sure he has enough fingers or enough length to bend his fingers from there. So I'm going to start here, here, and here. Do it about at the middle one. Same thing for this one. And start this one near the end of the index finger. You can see what I'm talking about. They kind of line up with the ones adjacent, and that's what I try my best to do. Sweet. Alright, overall his fingers are a little too long in general, in like a bad way. So I'm going to, for the love of God, I need you to work with me, Maya, please. Thank you. I'm going to bring those in just a little bit more, and we'll make sure that the length comes out when we start editing these the tips. So let's save. We did a lot of work so far.
Morra, when I first saw your player model, I was like, oh, an older Pt1 is a cop, that's cool, I guess. But after seeing these vids, I know Morra is its own character.
Yeah, Morra was the first anime cop that I ever made. Because as much as I loved anime, I've never done the style in 3D. It's really hard to do. So I did look at, I was like, what anime models are out there that are really good? And I love the Hyperdimension Neptunia models. So I did base Morra heavily off the Hyperdimension Neptunia models, but everything there was custom made. Definitely. So that's, I definitely looked at Pt1's hair specifically, because anime hair is an interesting thing. It's modeled like no other thing I've seen before.
So let's look at his fingers real quick. I'm gonna bring the actual image real close here so I can get an easy access look. Where did I put it? Okay.
Let's look at how his fingers taper. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna put that over in this corner of my screen.
Oh, that's fair.
Okay, let's just pop this over here for a bit, because I do want to see my boy. And we'll hide the attribute editor. That's about the same. Okay. How does he do his fingers? Let's find out. So we are going to try to taper these off as much as we can. So I'm just going to shrink those into near nothing, and we're going to lengthen them a bit so we can try to get this looking as sharp as pointy as possible, but without actually modifying the geometry too much. I'm going to select these edges, and I'm going to bring them out a little bit more to round out the finger, but not have it fight for, like, with the other fingers in terms of how much space they're taking. Let's see here. Do we have enough? We have 1, 2, I think we can do this, yeah. And I'm probably just going to, once again, bridge. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I hit extrude, that's why. Okay. Don't extrude when you want a bridge, that's bad. Bridge. Man, these are so tiny, it's my camera's clipping's having some issues. Bridge. And perfect. That's the perfect amount. I thought we did that right. Good. And there we go. He's got a little pointy boy. Let's round that out, make sure that looks good, because that may easily not. I may have to try to be smarter and better about this. It's not bad. It could be better. I may mess with that a bit, but for the sample of this tutorial, I'm just going to go with it. Shrink that down.
We're gonna do that to all of these real quick, just so I can have a good size guesstimate. Oh yeah, my roommate just came home. Mario, you want to just make it tries at the end. It doesn't need... It probably would be better as tries, you're right. I just don't like tries. I try to avoid them as much as possible. Alright, ZXC is definitely right. I should do these as tries. But this is sloppier, honestly. So we're going to edit this. I'm going to insert an edge loop here towards the edge of the fingers. Because we don't want the entire thing to be like really big triangles. We just want them to be at the edge. So I'm going to just put it like right here. I'm going to... Oh my god. Too small. I'm going to select this edge loop, and I'm just going to go to Edit Mesh, Merge to Center. And it's going to create a little triangle for that. It's going to look better. It's going to have a better point. Yeah, that does look better. Alright, I was wrong. And now we're going to do that for all of these, which is actually way simpler to try to figure out. So I'm going to slap some edge loops on all of these little parts before the tips. And now I just... Oh, these are too small. This guy must be really tiny if I'm having clipping issues. Merge the center. Mesh tools, or edit mesh, merge the center. And once again, let us merge to the center. Boom. And look, guys, we made a hand. It's not bad. It's a little rough, and we're going to shape it out a bit more. Right now, the knuckles are way too straight. Knuckles, look at your hand. They have a nice C curve to them. The entire body is made out of C and S curves. Nothing is parallel, nothing is perfectly straight. So, the first step we're going to do is I'm going to take these faces on the sides here of each hand. I'm going to turn on soft selection. I'm going to make it pretty decently sized, and I'm going to just curve the knuckles out a bit more. Also, with this, I made his pointer finger too long. So I'm going to switch that. I'm going to bring that back in and make that truly the longest. Alright. There we go. I'm going to pop that down a little bit. I'm going to curve these down just so they have the shape of the hand a bit more. Just a bit. I don't want to fuck with the rigging too much by having curved bones, but it's decent. Enough separation. I may separate the fingers a little more so they're a little more spread. Alright, and let's take a look. Look at our lizard boy. We did a lot today. So I'm going to, real quick, just select this side, this entire row of one. Delete it, and then I'm going to delete... Oh, we have trying. Oh, it's because of the tail, duh. Okay, that didn't work. Alright, I'm going to do the actual way of just selecting everything that's on the side, and we're going to cut our boy in half again. Brutalize the lizard. Alright. Got it. Oh my god, did I do that? Did I ace that? I'm a god. Man, I'm good. Alright. And now I'm going to mirror my boy again. We're going to stitch him right back up. Small minor surgeries. Switch it to Z and negative. And there we go. Merge is correct. And now when we turn it back on, he has his hand on his other side. Yeah. Do you remember if this guy wanted mouth movement or not? He does. I will have to work on the mouth, but I'm probably not going to get that today. I've never given up so much sleep to look at hands. Well, don't worry, Vanilla. I think I'm actually going to call the stream pretty soon because I have to get some food. I'm starving. I haven't eaten today. But I'm going to go on for a little bit longer, start making some little things. Like, we'll make his little badge here right now. That's very simple. We're gonna start off with, you guessed it, a cylinder. Gonna bring it up to his chest, bring it out, shrink it down. There we go. We'll worry about hands for a bit. I want to take a break from them. I'm gonna turn on my attribute editor so I can make this perfectly -90, so it's flat. And here's the deal: you can't put edge loops in things that are triangles. So if I try, it's just gonna try to add a single vert. So that's not good. We don't want that. So I'm gonna push this near, like, super close to this edge as possible. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the edge now, and now I'm going to scale it in. So this is basically creating an edge loop where I couldn't before. At least that's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to push it in so it's a little bit perfectly flat. I'm going to expand it out. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to edit mesh, or sorry, insert edge loop very close to the last one. Select this. Scale it in. I'm going to push this in. Down a little bit. I'm going to scale it back up a little bit, it was too much. Once again. Shrink this in. I'm going to lift this one out. Push it back again. Always doing it too much, it seems. Okay. He's got 1 loop, 2 loops, that's it. This is the last one. I'm going to create 1 more edge loop. Oh, actually, I've only done 1 loop so far, never mind. So I'm going to shrink this one in. And I'm going to push it back in to create the full loop. We're going to do it again. Very tedious, this type of circle stuff, but it adds nice geometry and a good look to it. And boom. There we go. Look at that. We created this medallion. It's got a nice shape to it. Here's what I'm going to actually do. We're going to use the harden edge tool. Or not tool. We're going to harden some of these edges. So... Oop. Misclicked. Why is that so hard to select? What's happening? I'm going to select this one, get the edge loop, good. Do the same thing here, I think, yeah. And finally one on the inside. Oh my god, these are really hard to select for some reason. And we're going to mesh display, harden edge. There we go. Now they have the nice hard edge look to them. Going to do the same thing on the major edges here. At Morra, that's going really good, actually. Thanks, man. How often do you stream like this? Also, food is important to work. Yes, it is. I stream when I can. I don't have a set stream schedule. It's just whenever I feel like, you know what, let's make something cool. And I'll see what I can do with that. But it's really up in the air. A++ button. Thank you. How long will you be streaming? Because I just have to eat dinner, but I'll be back. We'll see. I'm probably not too much longer. Maybe like 30 more minutes. What type of models can you make? I make a lot of models. I do a lot of humanoid characters. I love humanoid characters more than anything else. I can do some creature designs, but it's not my best. Overall, I just like making cool fantasy-based characters. How did these not select? Okay. And I'm going to expand these a little bit because I think it's a little bigger on the actual medallion over there. Cool. So that's really big now. We're going to shrink that down. I'm gonna go put that on his little coat. He's earned this badge. don't know what's the best way to do this. Because I don't want clipping to happen. We'll worry about it later. It's actually a little bigger than that. Anyway. Bigger's usually better for stylized. It has more of an impact. I don't know. I don't know what's the best way to do this. I may just put it up on the cloak. But either way, hey, he's got a little badge now.
Can you make like a Godzilla? Yeah, sure, I've done that before. The button's so small.
Alright, is it because I'm in centimeters tall? Let me go to my settings. What is my project settings in? Yeah, I'm in centimeters. This guy's like 4 feet tall. Or sorry, 4 centimeters tall.
Because how many inches are in a centimeter? Hold on. It's like 2.54? Okay. Centimeters in a foot. It is... No, let's inverse that, please. Foot in centimeters. What are we at? 30-ish.
Alright. So, let's create a 90 by 90 cube real quick. Because I expect this guy to be like 3 feet tall. So this is in the units that you are setting it in is whatever settings you have. So mine's centimeters right now. So I'm gonna set it by 90 by 90 by 90. This is gonna be 3 feet in Maya. So yeah, my guy's a little small, I would say. All right, let's base this square out so it's even, and I can adjust his height so he's not microscopic in Unity. Cool. Slide that to the side. I don't need you. I'm gonna group this guy real quick by just hitting Control G. That means I can now select him and other things and have them scale appropriately. And I'm just gonna make these big boys. Yeah, that's good. There we go. And I'll drag these back out to their sides and whatnot. And we'll delete this cube. I don't need that anymore. This will not scale evenly, it seems, so I'm going to go to the side view. And I'm going to make sure his feet are lined up with my guy's feet. There we go. See, that's about the same. And this one's not really used for anything, it's just there for reference, so look at him. I'm going to push these out more because I actually like them farther away. Now he's a big lizard boy. He's properly sized. Yeah, that when I was at the fingers and they were having trouble, it's because I'm trying to go fucking microscopic into millimeters. Now you can see I can go, like, super into these fingers if I really wanted to. Like... yeah. Very, very small. Alright. Let's see here. What else can we do? Let's start a staff, you know? I don't want to work on the hands right now, so we'll do something else. We'll make an appropriate size staff. So this staff looks like the base is about as tall as he is. Because if you rotate it, it should be near his height. So the curve of the staff, of the bow staff, should be near the top here. So let's start with a cylinder. Everything good starts with a cylinder. There we go. Now these polygon or primitives are more appropriately sized. I'm going to push the pivot down to the bottom. So when I scale it, it scales up from the base. Or rather, sorry, I'm going to scale it up a little bit, and then I'm going to scale it in the y-axis. It's a little too thick for him based off the reference, so bring that down. Yeah, that's a better height. There we go. And we'll bring that up. Alright, let me zoom out a bit on this reference so I can see his staff a little better. I'll rotate this so, because I just need to see the staff right now. Alright, very simple bow staff. It's very stereotypical, honestly. So I'm going to go down to these vertexes at the bottom. I'm going to insert an edge loop. Same thing like we did with the medallion. I'm going to put it near the edge. And I'm going to select the edges here, and I'm going to scale them in so it creates a little divot at the bottom. Look these up. I'll do it a little higher, actually. I think we have room to play with that. Mesh tools, sensor edge loop. I'm gonna put this edge loop around here. Oh, this is actually, hold on. This staff is way, way too high poly. Let's see if it's too late to change this, or is it going to explode? I'm gonna switch to 12. Oh no, it actually got it. Wow. Wait, did it? No, it exploded. Okay. Undo. You know what? We're only in 9,000 polys. I have so much polys to play with. Fuck it. I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna put this down here. I'm gonna scale that in a little bit because we're gonna make this little curve in it. Mesh tools, insert edge loop. Do the same thing here. Bring that in just a little bit. Tools, insert edge loop. If you notice, the main tool I use is the edge loop. This shit is so good. Like, I can't recommend using this thing enough. There's going to be so many fantastic things you can do with this to make your geometry do what you want and create very interesting and good looking bases and meshes. Wow, for now, best use that I've watched for now is Morra Pt1. I'm glad to hear that, man. I hope I can teach you something along the way. Alright, I'm gonna do the curve of this bow staff, and I think I'm gonna call it for the stream. Because my stomach is growling. I don't know if you can actually hear it, but it is growling. So I'm gonna select these faces, deselect the side ones. I'm gonna rotate this a little bit, like that. We're gonna extrude. Pull that out. Extrude. Pull that out. Rotate that up a little bit. We're gonna do it again. That was maybe too much. Maybe I need to add one more for the curve. I'm gonna select just all the faces again, except for these ones. And I'm gonna pull this back to really emphasize that curve. And deselect the side ones again. So that's good. Extrude once more. Lift it up. I'm gonna select this edge loop and rotate that to better fit the curvature of the staff. Select the top faces, deselect the side faces, extrude again. Rotate it in. Again. Again. Rotate heavily now for this one. Extrude. Extrude. And once more we're going to extrude again, and this should be the final one. And now we have the base shapes that we can start shaping it, making it look more like wood, especially when I soften display edge. There we go. And we'll start making this looking more like the staff, adding depth and sizing where we can. But for now, everyone, this is where I'm going to call the stream. I'm starving. I'm going to go get some food. I hope you guys enjoyed some what we've shown you so far. We got a good chunk of this lizard done, way more than I thought actually. And we can see our good little wizard lizard is gonna come along very nicely. So next stream we're gonna finish up the staff, we're gonna finish up the hands, work with the lower eyelids a little bit, and then I'll jump into a process that's known as UV unwrapping. UV unwrapping is the process of laying out the model completely flat so you can start applying textures to it.
And from there, we'll jump into texturing, and who knows, this may be done in one more part, maybe another part after that, so we'll see. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed them. I hope you have a good night, and see you around. Thanks for tuning in. Mwah.